ALTBAYS. ALTBAYS. ALTBAYS.
Come on, Leo solo. Was it all right?
Yeah. Winner, absolutely.
Winner? Smooth. There you go. We're live. ALTBAYS show brought to you by ALTBAYS.nz. We are a media support company. So if you like what you see and you think you would be good doing this, yeah, it's probably because you are. Because if you think you can or if you think you cannot, you're probably right. So give yourself some credits. If you want to run a show, get in touch with us and we'll make that happen. We do this 3 times per week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. religiously. And we're not even religious. So we have amazing people coming to the show. This is number 76.
Wow.
It's pretty good, isn't
Wow.
it? 5 months in, we're having fun. If you would like to recommend someone that you think it would be a good fit for this show, do it. Yes, it would be great. We love collaborations and we work with the community, so it's nice when you guys engage and ask us questions or support our platform. The best way to support the platform is to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So probably you're watching this live right now, or maybe you are listening to this on the podcast platforms, which I'm going to talk about in 1 minute. But if you're watching on YouTube, there's the subscribe button at the bottom. You have to be logged in on YouTube. So do that first. Subscribe to our channel. If you hit the little bell, it means that you're going to get notifications about when we're live or if we have a new video uploaded. And that's a great way to support us. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and we're actually in Whitianga live, so you can get in touch and have a proper face-to-face yarn. We love that thing. Okay, I was talking about the podcast platforms. Maybe you are listening to us. So we are on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, all those main platforms. So as soon as the show is done, we upload to the podcast platforms. Usually on the following day, you can listen to this show, which is pretty cool. Friday night. Every night is a friend. just trying to make you laugh before I say hi, Chloe, because I love your laugh. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good. Beautiful yellow color. Can you call it yellow or mustard?
Orange.
Really?
Orange.
You always say like
Orange.
a different color, and then I wonder if I'm colorblind or if
I
you're
think
making
you're colorblind.
full of
I'm like 110% sure this is very much orange.
orange. We'll go with orange.
Should we ask the crowd?
Orange?
Orange. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we can go orange.
We can go
Oh,
orange.
no. Am I at a table with 2
can go.
colorblind
He was
players?
just trying to be nice. So, okay.
Cool, but yes, yeah, mustardy. It's feeling a bit.
It's yellow.
Thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Oh, yes. Did you get that voice? Did you get that
I'm
tone?
offended. I think we have ALTBAYS first
Yellow.
walkout. You're
Yellow.
all colorblind. You're all colorblind. I'm going to walk
enough.
out. This is terrible.
Cool. That's good.
Disrespected.
How was your Friday? How
Matt said that is mustard.
Really? Mustard.
Thank you, Matt. Shout out to Matt. Is that Matt Cook?
Matt Cook, yes.
Yeah, my lad.
From Germany,
Thanks, man.
watching us. The
Yeah,
audience
cool.
is already
He's a
engaging.
massive fan. Yeah.
Shout out.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
They're all colorblind.
Okay,
Yes.
how's your Friday going?
My Friday's going absolutely fantastic. I've had a great day, and just in this last couple hours to get me through this evening, because I'm tired all the time, I was listening to some a really cool set, and I was like jamming out, like quite literally. It's like toe tapping, stepping, put a bit of a sweat on. I was like, whoa, man, am I going? I
Nice.
felt like going clubbing.
Do you feel? Did you say like that you feel tired all the time? Was this like a thing that you said, or you actually feel tired all the time?
Yeah, I am very fond of bed. Like if I literally said this morning on a
Nice way of
FaceTime,
saying, by the way.
if I could do everything that I wanted to do whilst being horizontal, I would. Like oh my God, I honestly would give anything to be able to do it. I love bed. I'm actually starting a new routine where, mainly because I'm home alone. Shout out to Owen. Hope you're having fun back at home in Scotland. So I'm alone in my apartment at the moment, so I'm really trying to make some new habits, and one of them is getting up the moment I'm awake in bed, rather than like I used to set like 6 alarms and like set them all about half an hour before I should actually get out of bed, just so I could lay in bed.
Good, honest, good, great.
I'm really trying.
Honesty about getting up in the morning.
Yeah, I'm just getting out of bed, because sometimes I could just lay there, and I would just lay there.
So
I could lay there too.
I love being horizontal.
Okay.
Really,
Well, we can come back to that.
Let's just bring Janik to this
Yeah,
conversation,
yeah.
because we cannot miss this good flow. So tonight we have the pleasure to talk to Mr. Janik Levien. How are you, my man?
Yes, I'm good. Thank you, Leo. Thank you so much for having me.
Man, it's our pleasure. Are you a morning person or a night person? What a question for a DJ, eh?
I'm a night person, definitely. I'm sort of on Chloe's buzz with the morning. I can really chill out. I shouldn't be telling too many people about that, because we run under the busy movement. We should be busy in the morning.
Busy after 12.
Yeah, busy after 12.
That's when the day starts, man.
So, no, definitely the lazy movement before 11.
Right. Cool.
And I'm all good with that, and but I do like the phrase "win the morning, win the day," so I try and go by that. But
Wow, I'm taking that home with me. That's
try
awesome.
take that one with you, because I try that, but some mornings it's snooze.
Like it makes sense in a evolutional way that we work better in the morning, right?
Yes.
Like the sun goes down, people would usually go to bed because there was no lights, no power. Yeah.
I don't know why I feel like this is the first time I'm hearing this, but I'm really shocked. I'm like, no.
Really? You never thought about that?
I get like a weird second wind at like 8:30, and I have to be careful about it, because if I tap into it, then I'm like, oh, whoa, it's midnight. Why am I like writing emails? Like, what?
But listen to this.
That's me this week. I had three times this week after 11 p.m. at night working.
Man, I'll tell you what.
Better than if I was.
I'll tell you guys something cool that you can have a look at it after the show. I was listening to this podcast. The guy said that in the 17th century, on the I think 18th century, it was common for people to have two sleeps.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Patterns. So like they would go for their first sleep,
Yes.
which would be like maybe 3-4 hours, and then they would wake up, and there was an active time. And because it's so quiet, it would be a great time for actually conversations, and a lot of people would use for reflections, because you're active, as you guys said. Sometimes you're a bit down, but then suddenly 2-3 hours later you're booming again. So because we didn't have much electricity, I can be stupid with the amount of it, but like it was not accessible. So people would sleep, kind of wake up, candle lights, a little bit of work, a little bit of writing, blah 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 blah, or cleaning the house, back for the second sleep. So technology did change the way that we behave.
Could be the thing that keeps me up in a way. I'm wondering what the cavemen did at night, but they probably just tried to keep warm and then asleep at the same time. But for us in 2022, we can be up and just scroll and look at the world.
Yes.
And or just be working late,
Yes.
maybe. Wait, scrolling or working?
Hey man, sometimes it's the same thing.
Scrolling, working, networking. Oh,
So man, for the people who just like, because we have a lot of cool people in our audience who just like go randomly in some shows and listen to it, like, because that's a cool thing that we're noticing. Some people have a look, oh, it sounds like someone interesting that I might be keen to listen to, and some other people are kind of like, I like the show, let's see what this person is up to. So when you see DJ, the busy movement, what are we actually talking about with the busy movement?
Yes, the questions instead of just funny yarns about
Just so we will
come back to it, man.
We will come back to it, but like just to put into the context of.
I like this. I like that. So the busy movement. If it's if you're just scrolling and you come across it, and let's say you maybe someone into music, have been to a few festivals, or you're just someone who's just traveling the country and you just scroll past this crew busy movement. It was it was just something small that we've grown, and we're based in the Waikato region of Pairua, and it's been like a family sort of thing that we've grown through me, my dad, and my brother, and my oldest brother as well. There is quite a lot to the story, but I will keep talking.
Yes, please.
But it started in the around about like 2015, 2016. We got to experience music, outdoor music festivals, and that was when it's when the vision came alive on like seeing the artwork come alive, as in we were sort of skaters, we loved our street culture and like graffiti and street art, and we loved music from when we were sort of brought up on New Zealand reggae and electronic music, I would say, like from the Fat Freddy's drop to like we had Tiki and Shapeshifter and all the sort of drum and bass sort of stuff from Dad. And then when we started asking a bit more questions, we started to find out that Dad actually was playing Ministry of Sound CDs to us.
Oh, yeah, same. Shout out to your dad, man. I grew up on that too. That's sick.
So we found, so Dad, we found some clips of all of us like really raging out to electronic music from when I was only 3, but it would have gone on for years. And then my middle brothers are like running around in this lounge like crazy too.
Absolutely
like
thrashing.
It was like Prodigy, Firestarter. I'm pretty sure that was quite hardcore, but like it was definitely what he was like. We actually sort of had the electronic music integrated to us, but it was only in the we listened to it through our years, but it was like hip hop sort of reggae for our skater time, and then it was electronic music. And that sort of hooked us in the 2016, and we were going to festivals actually not knowing the genres of the electronic music. And we would go, and it was like really quick. It could have been like the one that we call like psych trance now, and we are sort of like, holy damn, that's next level. And then there was like house and drum and bass and like dub and bass music that we were sort of getting into. So when we started like in 2016, we sort of moved on to 2017. And we started like getting like the idea on like we're loving this sort of dance floor culture with the art around us, and the people that we're now meeting are like friends. Like we used to meet friends at a skate park. You can make a friend in pretty like much 10 minutes at a skate park. If there's another skater, it's quite easy. It's random, but it works. And I found in the dance floor at these festivals, I was making friends and connections so fluently, and like so it was a relaxed vibe as well as high energy. So then we felt there was a community there that was a bit more, there was something powerful. It was powerful. It was bringing so many people together. There was from food, music, creative, to like healing and meditation, even though those are like quite past the spectrum of where we're at the moment. Those were like all these things that were bringing these people together. So in so the years sort of just moved by, and it was in 2018 I turned 21. And I had like a little bit of an organizational background because I used to organize our skateboard trips for our crew.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. And someone had to, and we
Skate Dad.
Skate Dad. So Dad was Skate Dad. He was the driver. But we drove. I would organise these minivans to go and see international skateboarding, and I had this sort of. I'm only 13, 14, 15, 16, and we had to used to get Dad down there to actually bring his driver's license to make sure this was actually all legit. But this young little kid, but. I had this sort of organisational skills. I don't know where it all come from, but it sort of just came together. And 2018, I like ran my own 21st party. We all worked on it together, but I like organised the sound and DJs and musician, like music vibe, and did like the decorating. And it was in that speech, I can remember it pretty well. On like the 21st, I sort of like told people and like mumbled and got like a little bit emotional, and I said like, this is what you've seen a little bit of like what we're doing here, like dance party, like it's my 21st, but like I'm actually wanting to take this like properly and do like start doing events. And yeah, 2018 is the year the Busy Movement started.
Yeah.
And funny that because it's only now it's on such a larger scale and getting noticed, but in 2018 we just went and we met some old farmer. We had a woolshed party days before. Shout out to whoever if they're watching and heard and reading about or listening to this. But yeah, and yeah, from that it started to grow. And I said to myself in like January in 2019, like, 5 one-night parties a year would be like a good hit. Nice. And then I said to a good friend, Stan, once at a gig, like, oh yeah, I'm aiming at like 5. And he goes, that's a lot. And then I started thinking, I'm like, fuck, like 5 gigs, like fitting them in between a space of like 3 months was actually quite a lot. Yeah. So, and then I did, yeah, like they were like one night gigs, they were different stage production, different little lineup, and I would and curate like a different vibe each time. And this was 2019, and I'm like, I actually we pulled off some pretty mean stage productions.
When you say, I'm still with you, but cool. Just so we get some insights about that. So when you say a different idea for each one, what are we talking about? Yes. Graffiti arts or like visual arts, or like what are the concepts and how do you go about choosing them? Do they come to you or you go after them?
Most of the time I vision it, and I sometimes laugh at myself because I can vision the stuff before it's made. It won't come out pinpoint exact, but I can nearly vision what I want and what the crew wants, and then we can actually bring it to life. And for these spaces, I would say it would be a vision that I got inspiration from. It could just be a Pinterest search on Hawaiian tribal style.
It's all about keywords.
Yeah. Hawaiian tribal style, or just like vintage, like boutique vintage sunken retro lounge or something like that. And I'll just be like, go into Pinterest, not just Pinterest, but like Google Images, or sometimes I get the feelings at the events when I've been at like mad inspiration from events. We'll go through that as well, like from certain festivals, and I would get inspired, and I would never write it or anything like that. It's more just in me that I felt this like for like the Lava Lounge last year at Abracadabra, I visioned the stage up there. There's a lot to talk about on that, but like the Lava Lounge, I visioned like a boutique style lounge, you know. Yep. We have like vintage vibe down there, 5 different artists. We went up to like 7 at one because I just got so excited. So I wanted a lounge vibe, chill, like loungy dance floor that sort of warmed into the night. Real like red velvet fabrics. That sort of was like real like lounge and cozy vibes. It was in a big hall, and we put 2 gazebos in it and fabric inside of the gazebo, so you didn't know the space you were in. You felt
wicked.
like you were in a cozy sort of low ceiling. Yes. And then it opened up at the end, and then the big artists were on the stage, and then artists down the side, some tattooing happening, and it was like lounge fluent, really loungy vibe, and it really worked. And I visioned that before it even happened, but I didn't know exactly where the fabric was going to be laid like that. But like I visioned that, I wanted that vision, I wanted that feeling, and people got that feeling.
We bring a lot of artists here, different people from different backgrounds doing different things, and I always go over this subject with like, inspiration or like how does it come about, and like your perspective on the thing. It's cool because it brings a couple of things together, actually more than that, but like you got inspiration, you got the ideas, but you also have the hands-on attitude. You know, like you go for it, you make it happen. You're not just like, oh, the music. Like,
Yeah, busy.
you busy. Yes.
we're busy,
even
yeah.
the party where we met, which was like, I don't think you had much to do with the production of that, but just like the fact that Morgan put those carpets.
Yeah.
And she thought about the colors and the things, and you had that corn and you had that light, and I was like, this itself, just the look, it's already inspiring. And it was simple, right?
Yeah, it was simple,
but that
and
was it. That was enough.
Yeah, and there is a few photos of that night, and I thank you for noticing small stuff like that, because that is what is. It's only so small, but it is.
Adds up.
It adds up, and if it's just from a small light to something, just instead of being like so bright in the face, more to like loungy feeling, more relaxed sort of style, and then like it's not this DJ just like blasting out music and all jump around. It's like, listen to this music. It's from like loungy funky stuff to the sort of upbeat like house music, and people sort of that's where it all comes down to, as someone wanting to give someone like an experience they won't forget. That was sort of what I was like, even though I'm playing a DJ set, whangamata, just a random one for all my amazing friends, I was like, maybe if some people can get a vibe off this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think that's so important as someone who loves music, and like we established that I like to be cozy.
Yeah.
It's really important, and it's funny how so many people don't actually realize how influential just your surroundings are whilst you're listening to music. Like certain things, like listening to types of music in different surroundings, really influence a whole like mood, and some people are really not aware of that. So I think you're already, straight off the bat, super fucking awesome from just having that passion to
Thanks, yeah.
not only like you visualize it, but you said it yourself. You know what the vibe is, you can feel it, and you want other people to feel that, and you've been successful. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Chloe. It's definitely something that's sort of my drive, I feel, would be the I'm passionate on bringing like the best experience as our crew can give to people. It's shout out to John from Hamilton. He's had a real cool yarn about this. Is about, as an event organizer or someone who's is giving to someone, or like people an experience, you want to give them something that's special, not just that same old thing just to cash out. You want to have them walk away and feel glowed up.
Yeah. And man, must say,
I like that.
you know, like, because we're passionate about it. You know, we love doing it, but we all gotta eat, right? So what you're doing, when, like, I'm not a businessman, but I see it as a very smart format, because you get people in their emotions, because the music's good, makes you feel good, but you remember like I was saying, like, you remember the visual out of it. Sometimes you go to a gig and it's just that big stage, grass,
and it's just like blacked out
bar,
or something,
you know,
yeah.
and then when you go to a place and instantly gets to you the colors, the vibe, you know, you will remember that. You talk to more people, so people appreciate it, and then they go back next year. That's the thing, you know. They tell their friends, they bring that back.
They felt it. They enjoyed it more.
Yes.
It's simple as that, or they just they felt there was that extra flavor to it. But definitely, where if it was just jumping into a club, anyone playing music, most people will make a pretty mean club environment anyway. But if you were to come into that same club that's been pumping for 2 years, as I would with the Busy Movement, I haven't gone and played a Busy Movement gig in the city at all. We did an art gallery, but I would be going there with a vision to create a vibe in the club, not just about the music and the lineup. I'd be going to create like a little stage vibe, or like loungy vibe, or like an arty vibe in that club. That all comes down to the club allowing that to happen. But I it's a weird thing with me. I'd probably never let just play a Busy Movement gig in a basic space that's been used before.
Right.
Could be a little bit of a weird, yeah, it's a funny topic that, but it's just me being stubborn. I feel like I want to make sure that if I'm going to do something under my thing, I'm going to do the best of my abilities without making crazy amount of work, but make that experience we feel like it's been different to the others.
Are there big festivals or more like mainstreams, or even a bit more like underground, but like around the world or in New Zealand that you feel inspired by, or you drink from? Because that's the beauty of being an artist, right? It's being very conscious of like everything influences you.
Yeah,
it's not a shame to say that you got something from there or there, you know. So what is your vision for like what's happening around the world? Do you have collaborations around the world?
Yeah, it's definitely a big question. This one, or sort of a brainstorm, let's say, is massive inspiration. I don't think I would be exactly where I am in the path that I'm on without the inspiration I've had at the festivals I've been to. So I can say that we've all had a look over Instagrams, all us event people and stage artists. We've looked over on the websites and been to stages around the world, and I get ideas, you get visions from what they're creating, but I feel like all of my inspiration would come from the ones I've been to, because I feel like I had to feel the vibe before I could create the vibe.
Is New Zealand well served for festivals for the style of music that you play?
Yes. New Zealand is it's got the cream of the crop. Let's just say the last 2 years has been tricky, but last Shipwrecked Music and Arts Festival I've been to, the last Shipwrecked Festival I'm just trying to think, was it 2021? It was last year, Dad? It was last year. It was.
Dad's here in the studio, by the way.
Yeah, Dad is.
Yeah. Fact checking everything.
Fact check. And then what was it? Yeah, so Shipwrecked Festival, the last one. So let's just make this one clear. Maybe for the last year or so, because of just everything that's happened, I've only been to one festival besides my own, and it was Spectrum Festival based in Hikataya. Amazing festival, another small electronic music festival, boutique, massive 2-stage productions, healing zones, food and crew. Inspirational. You get to see different vibes that haven't been done, like cabaret sort of vibes, performance, and like not plays. I would say like big performance and acrobatics and stuff like that. Like that's like straight eye opening for me, and I'm like, Father, this is new stuff. And then over the last it was 6 years, I've been at Music and Arts Festival, and that's Music and Arts Festival was probably the biggest of like getting us while we were young. That was the one that there was one up Thames Coast that was the big first ever inspiration. That was me sort of running around at this electronic festival and seeing like all these paths through the bushes and all this art, and I was just like, this is like a blimmin' RuneScape game, but in real life. Like a blimmin' adventure game, a PlayStation game, but like in real life. And I was just like, this is implementing all of my, let's say, heart in one. It sort of just didn't have the skateboarding, I would say, but it had like the music, it had artwork, it had the people I like. I loved meeting foreigners at festivals. It's like nearly like feels for me like I'm traveling the world without traveling. I meet them and talk to them and just hear about the world, and I felt like it was Festival and Shipwreck Festival, but got us while we were young, and then we started to meet the crews. We started to feel the vibe. Like I was saying, you got to feel the vibe before I could create the vibe. These places were creating the I call it, and it's under our logo, Vibe Architects.
Yeah,
We're Vibe Architects, I
nice,
just call it. So
nice.
that's sort of like, instead of like the Busy Movement builders, we're the Busy Movement Vibe Architects. So it's sort of just a real crazy name because we're multi-skilled, let's say.
Yep.
But these festivals had the vibe architecture to create these vibes. I walk away and leave those festivals talking about it, feeling that glow, feeling like this is my buzz, this is all of our buzz. Sometimes, most of the time, it was me going, this is mean as, and then my brother about to say that to me as well, like, this was this was really mean.
Yeah. You're welcome to swear, man.
You're all good, dude.
Yeah.
I'm throwing a couple out there.
I was reading the other day on YouTube, after the 30 seconds, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
so
nice.
if you don't like it, fuck you. Yeah. Oh, there you go. We're allowed. So, man, talking a little bit about the formats, because I like how you say, it's small, and like, I come from a country that has 200 million people living in, so anything in New Zealand is small for me. You know? So like, just give me two things that I want to ask, like the thing with size of the festival, and also more as because you're putting an event out there, like, so it means that you sell tickets and people prepare for that. So what is your vision? Like, how is this gonna grow? Because hopefully next time we chat, like, that will be our full-time gig, ALTBAYS for me, and the Busy Movement, like, and
yeah,
because that's what we're up to, right? Like, how do you see this becoming a solid thing? There you go.
At the moment, that is an amazing question, that one, because I have looked ahead. We all have looked ahead, but I haven't looked ahead too far. Like we were saying earlier, we're not rushing too much, and we're sort of just taking it slow in the direction of where we're feeling. And a few months ago, I was feeling like, this is getting big. Like, this is getting like, there's a lot happening now. And there's quite a bit more eyes on the Busy Movement, a little bit overwhelming in a very positive way. But I took a step back and I calmed it down, and I just sort of said, like, just one event at a time. As much as we like knowing the dates for the next one so we can let people know, we want to just take it easy. I personally don't want to blow out.
Do you think it was the reaction of the people that ended up putting a bit of pressure? People like, when's the next one?
Yes,
or it was you and your crew kind of like pumping yourselves?
No, it was the reaction of the people. It was the reaction of the people. It was artists and DJs wanting to be a part of the next one. When's the next one? And I'm like, everyone's vibing. I'm vibing off it too. There's like high energy off it, but sometimes can't relax off it either. Cause you're like, and I'm like,
it's like that second coffee that you shouldn't have.
Lazy movement, calling lazy movement. Yeah. I want that lazy before 11 a.m. vibe. So it was getting, and it is always quite busy. You just can't step away from it in some areas of this event organisational and big like crew that we have now, family of people that want just yarning about some music, or they're just hitting up about what's happening. Boom. You're always getting messages. It's perfectly fine, but I haven't looked too much forward. But I would say that the next 12 months we are planning to do 2 festivals that will be bigger, just a little bit bigger than the ones we've done. The last one that we were actually planning in March 4th to the 6th of March this year, it was a 350 people festival. That was Abracadabra last year was 280. It was going to be our biggest festival. With the COVID and stuff, we had to do the 100 people one, and it all worked out. We could have extra people on site. We got the funny announcement all just days before, and we ran a beautiful festival, but it was only quite small. But we could have planned to have extra 150 people there with an extra stage, or 200 people, and that was we were ready for it. But I feel like this is gonna be. We've got Abracadabra coming up in September 23rd to the 25th. We're looking at probably 300 people on site, so it can't be too large, this festival. It can only be a certain capacity due to the camp and the venue. But I feel like this 12 months will be the growth. But in the future, let's say 12 months, there is a few things, like there was, depending on obviously the venue and so the forest venue, we run the outdoor festivals. You might have seen Ponderosa,
Yes.
the Western themed festival, Ponderosa Ranch. So that's sort of one that really, we can have a talk about that soon as well. But these are there's capability to run larger festivals at that site. But at the moment, we're wanting to keep it quite cozy.
Yep.
And for also the workload goes up 0 to 100 when you start adding, let's say, a 700 people festival. But we do have the crews and we have the tools to run something like that. That could be obviously the big, those would be the ones that you really can win, let's say. But at the moment, I would say for the next year, 2 years, we will be looking at the under 500 people festivals.
Cool.
Nice.
And
Cool.
I plan next year to go and get some inspiration overseas. Obviously, that comes up to on fees too. But it would be amazing to have opportunities overseas where someone invited me. I went over there and I sort of got to live with them for a few weeks or something to. Maybe if it's on a festival site and I help just in one area. But like, to be honest, not just me though, I would really actually like Dad, myself, my brothers, we want to all go overseas and just like we come back to that, I want to experience the vibe.
Yeah.
Before I even create the vibe. I've been shipwrecked. What have we got there? We've got 2,500 maybe. Wow. Was 4,500. So I've been to Big Fat Freddy's concerts. There's thousands there. I've been to where was it? Splore, 10,000. And that's another amazing big festival. Sort of hitting that scale of quite that large sort of commercial scale. Obviously bars and stuff. It makes it a lot larger. But I definitely want to experience the big.
Yeah.
As in,
Right.
I want to experience the big. But I want to experience the vibe before I can create it or even want to create it, because there is big things that I've seen at the bigger ones that I'm like, this is not like the alcohol thing, let's say, as in just heaps of alcohol. Yes, it can be the big money maker, bars, but it's downgrading your whole dance floor energy. It's downgrading your whole intimate, cozy, connecting vibes. Like, it can help. Definitely a few drinks is just makes people vibe hard, but it can sort of downgrade. What do we sort of like eliminate some of the core factors of life in the festival scene.
Right. Coming from like a place of ignorance here now, like obviously we all know, like, bars, like the alcohol really supports the income and selling tickets, of course, like early bird. Is it a common thing to get sponsorships, like companies interested in actually putting their names or make, is it a thing for these nights? Because I see a big push, I see a lot of value nowadays in the exclusive. People like that, like, ooh, the small party, ooh, 300 tickets, ooh, I'm in, like that thing, like everybody loves a big festival. But like when it's something small, a bit more intimate. It doesn't mean that it's a fancy thing, but you just feel like, it's a hub.
If you're like in the know, you're in the know, I think is like a massive seller too. Definitely. Like, it's kind of one of those things, especially if you really enjoy it and you're as passionate as like obviously the creators. You're a bit like, want to gatekeep, and you're a bit like, oh, only cool people can come to this.
Yes.
Like, you kind of want to keep
Right.
the energy.
So there
you
is
know?
room for that.
There is
right?
already conversation on that path at the moment. I'm not saying there's sponsorship of like companies, as in alcohol companies or even food companies, or there is a little bit of it in the background,
which is cool. It's good. Yeah, it shows that it's
I
happening.
wouldn't say it would be on the banner that's shared on Facebook. Like let's say a big event, let's just say a Rhythm and Vines gig or bigger gigs. They have George FM pals. They've got all the Heineken or whatever. It's massive. Those are massive logos and labels and big. But at the moment, there is actually small talk that these small festivals let's just say under 500, small, like, yeah, they're festivals, no doubt. There's two stages. It's always, I call them festivals.
Yeah.
500. They're actually getting more popular. Because I feel like the workload, you get just as much vibe out of it, like even more, because when it's so massive, the vibes are all crossing.
Yep.
And where it's smaller, you actually get more punch out of the smaller festivals than the larger ones, and it's more enjoyable for the whole build crew and creators, because it's not like overly disconnecting from your other crew who's like blimmin' 3 or 5 kilometers on the other side of the festival. And there is crews talking about it at the moment. These boutique, I'm liking this word lately, everyone.
Just plugging it.
Using it. Yeah, it's on my Insta. It's on all the bios, and it's on festivals. Yeah. Yeah, hot showers, Dad. Yes, hot showers. But yeah, we want to talk. Yeah, there's talk on the boutique scale of festivals, and it's been small. I would say that it's stellar lineup, like dope lineup, 2-stage dope production on both stages, food trucks, hot showers, we can bring stalls, meditation healing zone, 500 people, best sound systems in the country. Even food together is a big thing. We can have a yarn about that. That's
Food together?
Yeah, so that's having food trucks on site, but actually integrating it in the festival ticket, having chefs on site cooking food for the festival, and we all eat together.
Shout out to whoever had this idea.
So
God
some of my
damn.
crew, but I think, we've done it. We've done
Good
it.
stuff.
Yeah, we did it at Ponderosa Ranch.
Solid.
Yeah, we were a
Yeah,
ranch
man.
community, all dressed in cowboy hats.
It means, it shows that you're looking after your audience. You know, again, not
becomes one big family.
Yeah,
Right.
But
And again, nothing against the big festivals, because we love the opportunity to see a big international act that it won't happen.
definitely. Yeah.
But like, it's a kick in the balls, the $9 water, the $16 chips, you know, like, so if you guys are already putting something there in the ticket, you just feel good about it.
Yes,
you
and-
don't even feel like it. You already paid for it, but it just looks nice, you know, like, oh, cool, I can come and actually have a snack here. Fuck.
Oh, exactly.
and it's like just like that intimate and then niche community to when you don't have to worry about certain things, like you were saying, the ridiculous prices sometimes and the effect of like alcohol, whether it's on yourself while you're experiencing the festival or being around that energy when other people are experiencing it. It's like it just leaves so much more mental and emotional space to actually enjoy what you're all there for.
Yes,
And
yes.
like just I wouldn't say boutique. I'll leave you with that word, but like the niche, the small festivals.
Niche is another word that I'll be starting to use too.
But they're just so much more important, and I think a lot of these bigger festivals, even just over the 500 mark,
Yep.
or even some a little bit under that I've experienced, tend to like you use the word commercialize, which I thought was quite great because festivals become trendy for a certain age group
It
really
does.
quickly.
Yep.
And the idea of like encouraging and making spaces for the people that genuinely enjoy the vibe rather than, this is like Kendrick Lamar's going, we have to go. And it's like, okay, like cool for your own experience. But like when you want to go to these things, everything you're offering is like exactly what personally I think you should be experiencing.
Yes,
like
yes,
even
definitely.
regardless of like maybe theme, but
Yep.
And the best thing about the niche groups and smaller festivals, even like the one night gigs and stuff like that, is that the right people are there. You know, the right people follow that energy, and the right people and the organisers. You're always around this. Like, it's not the same community, but you know, people around with the same mentality, and that also contributes to the vibe. I think it's super important.
It's one of the big ones. You're onto that one, Chloe. That was the people, and that's like, they're intelligent party goers.
Yeah, man.
That's
a cool title.
That's a good.
I call them intelligent party goers. You can call them that. They know what they want. They know what they need.
That's it.
They get what they want. They get what they need.
Yeah.
And they are the biggest contributor to the vibe. Let's say, I don't know, let's say the big commercial events just did some one-off 500 people parties as straight to punters. They could get a full-on mixed bag out of the situation, or out of the vibe we're in at the moment. I'm like pretty damn confident every time I've got a pretty damn good crew. Like a good ticket buying crew, I mean, not as in build crew, that's always golden, but when we've got a golden, I call it festival crew, you create all these bronze people, or the bronze people, or like they're all golden, they're all gold people as well. So like, what I'm saying here is like the people come to the festival are the biggest creators of the vibe in the festival in general. So I could actually do the stages and do the music. I could do everything we've done, and if it wasn't for the people that have been coming to them, it wouldn't be what it is. And to be honest, in a no cocky way, we have actually built that with a couple of our crew. In general, my business partner Krista, and my family, and just the offspring of some real like gold people. We have built that community. We have built the people, the 300 people that would come to the festival, not as in handpicked and a lot of these ones for Abracadabra this year is, I feel like it's going to be our newest people base, let's call it. It's going to be our freshest and newest, and I'm all about it. That was where I got a little bit worried we're keeping it too small. You can never be too small, but I don't want to have the same crew all the time. Those guys are running the best little niche festivals that are, and they've always got that same crew, and they're all mates, and sometimes when I go I sort of feel left out because I'm not in the clique. So that's like the clicky sort of thing, and I feel that this is definitely where the growth drive is for me, as in bringing more people in, but as I'm only talking in 50, 100 lots, but as bringing more people in to come and experience the whole a new level of mini festivals.
That's a really important thing, eh? That's like what I think. I was just thinking what community is. You know, it's great. People think community is a group of people, but like in the small essence of community, it's about people coming and going and joining. Yes. Like you don't just start with a group, you know, it started with 1 or 2, 3 people, and then people join, and people like-minded people join, and then you get a community, you know, and that's what I think is really exciting by listening to you and what your plans are for progression, and not being super speedy about it or anything like that. It's just how excited you are. I mean, I could share it. I feel your vibe, man. I feel the vibe. It's just about like how exciting it is.
Going to
I'm not even kidding. I'm already like, why wasn't I there last year? Like, excuse you. I want to be cool.
It's definitely. It's there's something about it, and we've been talking about this last 15 minutes. It's just there's something special about being a bit smaller, and the vibes ain't all cluttered, and there's different. Half your mates are like cozy in this lounge on this dance floor, and there's another huge hike to find them over, and they're hiding in the back of a camper van, catching up. Like it's with these small festivals, you're close, you feel welcome, or like you're feeling that welcome, and you get to experience the whole festival. That's another thing. You experience all spectrums of it. And at the moment, we're on the perfect scale on that, and I can't wait to add that little bit extra to grow it. To grow it, to upskill us as well. That's my best way and the most confident way of upskilling myself. I would not be keen on getting chucked it straight in, like, let's say this summer, 1,000 people.
Yep.
Like that would just blow my stress level off the Richter scale, and I would just I would not be all good. I'd cancel. I'd cry.
You don't want to
under my bed.
Yes.
Snooze.
You don't want to be the busy movement.
The too busy.
Too busy. The busy is enough. Busy is enough.
I've had too busy moments as well, and it's all good. But it's where you get to reflect back on where you are, what you are, who you are. So it's definitely.
I got a comment there, but then a question, because you said, "Oh, I want to be there. I want to be part of the party."
I already am thinking, like, as soon as this finishes, I'm like, bro, send me some links.
I'll send some links.
I'm already like,
you got a taste of the African
I jammed out, bro. Honestly,
And I'll tell you what, like, not stroking your ego, but like, it's cool that I say this before the question, because the thing is, the party we met, we didn't chat for too long, but the vibe contributed and the energy that you were creating, you know, like, because there were so many cool people there and I chatted with so many people, but like, there was something about the way that you were playing those songs. Because the thing is, I'm a drummer, so I love live performances. I love bands. I love people like sweating, and I'm a punk rock fan. So if the guy's bleeding, fuck, even better. Bleed it, motherfucker. You know, let's do this. I'll bleed it here too. You know, cool. If you're bleeding, I'm bleeding. So electronic music for me was always a bit like, because I had that mentality of the don't. That is just not my vibe.
Yep.
But then I'm starting to experiment different things, blah, 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 and I understand, and I love dub.
Yep, good.
Because I'm a big reggae fan, and I love that thing of the bass hitting you in the chest, so you're not listening, you're actually feeling
it.
Nice.
that. So then, by listening to friends who show me good stuff, they're like, man, there are different kinds of electronic music that are actually pleasant, you know, like they're cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I come across Janik playing like this funk ass
like
groove electronic, and you were playing
almost kind of like Afro beats sort of
Oh,
vibe too.
yes,
I really,
it is. Yes,
I just really enjoyed your set, bro. I was
cool.
like, I was like, this is like my mid morning. Like,
good.
and you were like, and that's the thing, like you were actively working on what you were doing, you know, like, because I understand a little bit of the frequencies and whatever, and playing the transitions, you know, like, so I'm like, fuck, he's actually DJing, like he's actually doing the shit, you know, because
you have that playlist, and I was just digging it. I pre-made the playlist, and I pre-organized the vibe, of the playlist. Like I wasn't going to go and play like real pumping. I was going to like light funky, because the group, I just know Morgs and that vibe, and I was just like, okay, this is the vibe. But yeah, you're on there. I was every time I jump behind the decks, I do my best to bring the best.
So where I want to get with this is, nowadays the DJ image, it's great in one perspective of like it's recognized.
Yes,
it's cool.
yes.
You know, like there are DJs that are fucking rock stars. You know, if you take the word as a thing. But on the other side, it's horrible, because anyone can be the Spotify guy. And I saw this great video, I think it was on TikTok, like there's a black thing in front of the desk, so like no one can see what the DJ is doing, and there's nothing. There's fuck all. And the guy's like,
just like an old school day. It's just like,
and like DJs now.
And he had a full stage in front of him, I'm pretty sure.
It's so trendy as well, like to
be a DJ.
Yeah, but not like in a. I might have fucked up here, but like, I mean, like in a cringy way. Like everything is always on a spectrum. Do you know what I mean? Like, and
you can be like, as in quickly buy the gear, DJ for some mates at their parties, and wait, where I'm going here is just saying like, the basic of just someone who might just start it, as in they just want to do it and just DJ for some mates. It's all goods in the hood. It was, I find if you've got a mentality at the start to go, I want to be a DJ, I want to make a job out of this. Let's say I want to get heaps of followers from this, or this looks like the way I can put myself out there, and this is how I can make myself get my clout, whatever. It's the wrong path. I'm saying that idea.
Because that's a consequence, right?
Yeah, that's your expectations are high, or like you're going expecting like that you're going to get these people. Some people might not even like your 3 tunes you just mixed, and they walk off the dance floor, sort of thing. Like, it's like my mentality at the start was, I felt like when I first bought my DJ equipment.
What do you use, by the way? Serato? What's
I started off Serato laptop, little DDJ SB2 from Mix Foundation in Auckland, and it was just a combo. I bought my little Mac, and I plugged into some little stereo, and I sat in my room, and Dad came in those nights, and he goes, "You guys are a fucking joke."
Shot Dad. Dad's just like behind you, just like, be better. Be better.
Tell the children the truth.
Be better, bro.
But like a very, very sarcastic. Sarcasm, but also just like sort of laughing at us, because I think at the start it was like we shazammed like probably years of at these festivals, because it took a few years. It took the 2018 before I actually DJ'd a bit at the start of my 21st, so that was like my first ever DJ outing for like anything. But I bought this gear thinking I want to just learn how to DJ, because I'm dancing on these dance floors. These guys are doing this thing. I really like what they're doing. I love music myself. I've been shazamming, and I have little playlists on these fake little iPod apps where you can illegally download a song and it catches it. I don't know if everyone...
like MP3 download.
Yeah, it was called iMusic. I don't know if everyone or...
and it used to be like kind of reddish pink. Yeah. It was like the thing back in the day. Before Spotify. Because it was like Apple Music.
It was like a YouTube search engine, sort of, and it was like built in YouTube basically, and you could like download an hour mix, and you just had to let it play for like half an hour. It would download the whole hour mix, and like when you're out of Wi-Fi you can listen to it legally. And then but I don't even think they have that stuff anymore. But we had, that was our DJ collection. I didn't own a laptop. We had a family laptop. I didn't own a laptop before 2018. I just like iPods and a Nokia phone. So this is where it was buzzy. I just had like a little button phone because I didn't like the whole iPhone buzz. I just liked having my phone as texting and calling, and my iPod, and that's where we held all our music.
Did you ever get into LimeWire by chance?
Yes, so LimeWire virus the fuck out of my computer.
Back in the day.
Oh, great.
The
family computer just dead.
It's like a suicide to family computer, that, and there was probably a few other dodgy ones, but yeah, we had like our playlist on these iPods, and when we bought the DJ gear, we didn't actually go in like we didn't have heaps of music that we like knew. We were like, I liked this one, and then I started figuring that like in my first 2 months I was getting like funky house music, and it's funny because I actually play that sort of vibe to this day, and that was like my passion. Also sort of the vibe I liked mixing, because let's just straight up say house mixing is totally different. Some will say easier, some will say harder to mixing. All genres are different to mix, but they still have similar factors. But
man, just a pause there, because it's cool what you're saying, but like I feel like some people might be thinking the same thing I'm thinking, so I just want to ask so we can
definitely
move on. When I think about copyright, music and all that stuff, as a musician, it's kind of like you have APRA in New Zealand, that you're a musician and you put your work out there, and then you tell them when you're playing your originals, and then if someone else plays your songs, you get a little bit out of it, you know, like that. There's this system that makes the revenue go to whoever wrote the thing and blah, blah, blah. And in my mind of like what old school DJs would be was the classic, I got my vinyls, I have this selection.
Yeah.
They're clearly not my songs, but I'm doing something with them. You know, like I'm putting them together. I play a little bit. I give you a little bit of taste here, and you get a gig out of it, and then you get paid. Cool. How does that part play when it comes to like, can you get songs? Because I guess a lot of artists, they actually compose their beats, right? And how is your work when it comes to that part of like, I can get from this guy, I can integrate to mine? How does that work? Just before you carry on.
It's a great topic that you're bringing up, because especially me talking about this illegal uploads,
which is all good.
So this was before,
Just a great segue.
like before it was probably before I even cared about someone who it was before I actually was conscious about this person's actually been sitting down for hours producing these songs. So I had this. That downloading app was before I was even a conscious sort of I wasn't a DJ or anything, but from when it started, when I was like coming in the mail, I just messaged like a few DJ-ish friends that I knew at the time, and I go, where's the best place to get good quality music for me to start DJing? And they sent out Beatport, Bandcamp, Disc Jogs, and there was a few. There's so many, but to be honest, Bandcamp, Beatport, Apple Music, Discogs, and those were the ones that I was using. So each of every song, basically, unless it's just so unable to get it and YouTube has it, I'd try and like MP3 it and then sort of move it over to like a wave format. And what would it do is, every song that I've used, we pay for. I treat as like, so you got it on your laptop. They're called crates on here, but not real life vinyl crates on the ground, let's say.
Yes.
But it's so different from that to a physical vinyl. And for me, I feel like I am a little bit disconnected on that side. In a nice open way, I'm saying is that I'm not a vinyl DJ yet. It's a little goal of mine.
Yet.
Yeah. So I have goals for future to do vinyl set, and I just need probably a good couple of weeks with a pair of turntables at home in my blimmin' little tiny home, and I'm gonna mix some tracks. Like I'll be able to learn, but I haven't had the time and sort of option. But what you're bringing up is giving props to those people that are out there making these songs, and not just another song, boom, download.
So it's like
play that out to a crowd. My song.
So those platforms.
He said something about tiny house. Do you live in a tiny house? Is that what he said?
Yeah. We in the first lockdown, me and Dad built a little tiny home vibe off a little tow behind camper van for under $1,000 out of recycled material. Thanks, Dad, for that. It's starting to fall apart 2 hours. Now it's just slowly little leaks. It's needing a bit of a re-up, But
work in progress.
But it's a work in progress. Yeah, thanks for chucking that one in there, bro.
He's a DJ in a leaky house.
Yes. DJ in a leaky house. I fucking love it. That's exactly.
It would go viral.
I mean, you're like next low set, bro.
Just come home.
A bit of water,
it's
dab
cold,
with a hammer.
It's cold and damp.
But man,
I'll
tell you what.
cozy.
Have you seen that video of the guy who DJs on a bike and people follow that motherfucker?
Hey,
man, you should be the tiny house DJ, bro. Driving around.
Oh my god,
DJing. Hey, Taylor.
Yeah, you heard it here first. ALTBAYS exclusive, man. Watch this space.
Yes, we're thinking about how we are going to make little tiny homes. To eventually hire them onto back of trucks, or we would hire them to prop a piece of land or something. But we want my house is not movable at all at the moment. Let's just say that it's sort of like a tiny home that's just a situated like little leaky dwelling.
You beat me to it, bro.
Yeah. So I've been staying at Mum's for like
out to
2
Mum.
months.
Shout out to
Because I
Mum.
go there, all my stuff's there, the containers are there, and I go to Mum's nice cozy hot fire lounge. Oh yes, it's good, not leaking.
Oh, Dad's gutted
Dad's
us.
in another tiny home. Yeah. Nah, he's it's too good.
Have you come across the living big in a tiny house? The channel, Bryce
Yes,
Langston.
he was on here.
He came here,
Yes,
man. We'll hook you
yeah.
up, man. You get the
yes, we could
the
even
DJ
get a little
house
film,
going.
he does little hour like tours or
Yeah,
something.
little
It's
like
the-
videos
yeah,
and
yeah,
He's
yeah.
the
tours of
biggest
lives.
channel, bro.
Yeah.
I think like 4 million followers.
Yeah, cool.
He's huge, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
so
No,
that'll-
I
that'll be cool.
saw. My brother actually. We what is it? FOMO on them. We go like, oh, we wish we could have that. Yeah. On his channels, he goes around, obviously around the whole world and New Zealand. We've actually got some hidden gems. I'm tiny home fantasy. It's like I love them, but at the moment I've been staying with my brother. He's got this massive beautiful big house, and I'm sort of quite liking the open house vibe. You don't have to walk out of, I always say to them, you don't have to walk outside all the time. That's what like the problem is, like where you're in the house,
Walk outside to the toilet.
like the toilet.
Ah, yeah.
But not just that, like to grab stuff, like take the rubber. Oh, lazy movement.
The lazy movement.
That's my next one. I'm gonna start. We're gonna do really chill.
That can be just like your next line of shirts, just like on the back, lazy movement, just in a different colour though.
Yes, a whole nother vibe to it. We just do real slow, down tempo music, and we all just have people yawning. Yes, just I definitely I've owned the tiny house vibe. I'll one day be driving my tiny house up to Whitianga,
Nice.
and we'll be DJing out the back of it.
So
Yeah, boy.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
boy.
yes, that's
Man,
the
Down the
um,
main street.
so
ALTBAYS Radio coming live off the tiny home.
There's a mobile stage.
Yeah.
Mobile stage.
I
Man,
genuinely
yes.
was thinking about it. That
Like-
sounds real awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's so good that we talk about all these things because our thing, Taylor and I, man, like we're party people. You know, Chloe.
Thanks.
party
I was
people.
gonna say.
No. Yeah, but
Gross.
as the ethos, the idea of the business, of course, we're engaging online and we're creating this online community that people can have a chat, honest conversations. Of course, that's what drives us. But man, we want to get into the event thing, you know, like partying, you know, like knowing people, like where is it happening?
Yeah.
Can we take the live streams there?
Yeah,
Can we live
definitely.
stream? You know, that kind of stuff. So what you're saying for us is like, yeah, man, that's it. That's where it's at. You know, like it's the community idea.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't mean that it's like, oh, it's the small community. No, it's the like-minded people.
Yes,
It's the ones that are doing the, you know, like the community can be us and the guys in Japan, you know, like thinking the same.
Yes.
And then they come here and they have a good time and then we go there.
Yeah, and
there's a
sharing the
there's
experience,
it's
yeah.
a community.
Yes, yes.
You know? So anyway, just the comments there. But I want to kind of take to the other extreme because like talking about the sustainable living, the tiny house, well, cool. And then not that long ago, you were on the Valley Profile, which is a
Yes.
cool newspaper from Thames.
Yes, it is. Yes, yeah.
And they were mainly covering the fact that you guys hit a pretty cool art gallery in Ponsonby.
Yes.
Nice. And art galleries have a lot of, for me, it's a beautiful place where I go and I just dive into what's happening around me and it's good for my soul. But we know that is a big money maker. A lot of people putting, you know, like a lot of money into. How was that feeling to get into the realm of where there's so much going on?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the exhibition and the feeling of it.
Yeah, it's it was next level. To be honest, so we did a little festival. It was like I say private festival because we did it for my business partner. It was her birthday, and we had like 80 people or so there, and we were sharing What were we doing? We had the stage art and stage vibes and art vibes there were this new real it's like the sick beats that you've tagged me in. It's like our other like there's the Ponderosa, Abracadabra and Sick Beats. Sick Beats hasn't been able to happen yet, but that was the one that was going to be called the Forest of Sick Beats, and that was going to happen in March. And that's where it got cancelled because we wanted a 350 people festival, but it got cancelled. So we had all this artwork that got seen by a few of these people at this little mini festival, and they have seen our Abracadabra as well, and they've seen our art, but they, her name was Nikki, and she runs Fitzroy Lounge Bar in Ponsonby and runs Te Ahu Art Collective. And this is next to the club. And she's like close friends, amazing person. And she believed in us and said you need to bring this art and show people this stuff, and she has monthly to 6 weekly different artists taking over her gallery and selling, exhibiting as well as selling, and just basically growing artists and using her amazing spot in the middle of Ponsonby, a quite very wealthy little area, and like we straight away we actually straight away thought Dad had art already that was like on a level to be able to be sold, but for me and Reuben we had like a lot of artwork. So Reuben's my brother. We had a lot of artwork that was good, but we weren't like amazed. Like we were going to need to resand the edges and redo a bit and get it up to like standard, because we're being quite fussy with it. Because first of all, exhibitions are a whole different to a music festival. Like you got people dancing, that it's a music festival. It's not just to look at art. So we weren't like worried about people examining the pieces on the stages, but when in a white wall exhibition, there's blooming fancy lights and that, I was like, I don't even want to put more than $100 on this if it's got this shitty line on it, you know. I want to make it like pristine, like clean. And we were sort of stressing out, and we got asked quite quickly, and the option was June the 14th, the opening. Oh, it was actually a week before that. We got it pushed a week forward, thank God, because that really saved us. But yeah, we were sort of pushed to the limit of like how we could make art. We started making art some quite quickly, but we were making some really good pieces, and we were liking the vibe. And the vibe of mine and Reuben's pieces are a whole vibe that we are looking at bringing alive on a big stage scale, and it was called Psychedelic Sways and Street Punk Ways. It's at Te Ahu Art Collective, in Ponsonby, and it's just been extended into August.
Really? I was looking at it today, and I was like, a month. We missed it.
No, it's been extended into August. Next week is 2 lighting activations for Light Up Ponsonby with 2 spaces, thanks to Ali Skeet. She's the other collaborative artist in the gallery with us. We collaborated with her, so she's a great friend.
I think I saw the picture later with the glasses.
Yes, she's on. So she's located in Auckland. She's been live painting there, and she's now found out.
Thanks, Hector.
Yes, yeah, Hector. And she's found out that there's this lighting festival happening in Ponsonby next week, so she's activating that. So that's still all up there, guys. Who's in the room? Nice. 3-4 cameras. But yeah, we want to bring that vibe to life. But we thought, yes, we're going to take this opportunity. This is obviously great for the busy movement. It's great for us, to be honest. As much as we were a bit stressed and we were pretty working our asses off, we made fucking some cool pieces of art over those 3 weeks of hard stint, hey Dad? We probably wouldn't have made them. We probably wouldn't have made them if there wasn't this exhibition. We would have been waiting and would have made them. We wouldn't have been making them, or we wouldn't have made them. So like, we got sort of nudged into it. We started creating it. I look at it on the bright side as we have now exhibited art in Ponsonby. It's still there. People are commenting on it amazingly. Hasn't been a sale yet, but there's been a lot of interest, but I know it's that time of in the world that not everyone's splashing out on the street punk style art, or if they're wanting like tribal-y sort of carvings that Dad had there, or but to be honest, I was going there to exhibit. I wanted to show our vibe that we're going to bring. My big vision was I want to show them a whole nother skill we have, as in like bringing our street art and graffiti style to life. Like we can cut out stage art and do like all different types of art, but like we actually really want to bring that pop, like this real we haven't even worked with full-on colors yet. We used to do fluoro parties that was like the fluoro decor and all that, and they were great, but it was getting so cheesy.
And it's a bit
and it's a movement, right?
It's a phase thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
I'm
phase,
sure
it
like
was a phase.
any like proper party has been like through the glow stick thing. Like,
Yeah.
Was it hard to price your art? Did you do that, or someone else did that for you?
No, we did it all together, and we were doing it on the day, hours before it opened.
How many bills do we have to pay? How much do we do?
how much to fix the tiny roof? Tiny house roof, Dad. Okay, this piece is for the roof. This piece is
For the waff on the van. No, there was a little bit of that happening, but it was sort of quite naturally done. We did it with Nikki, who ran the gallery, just because she had a bit more of an idea on the whole thing, and we just wanted to not outprice ourselves, but like get our hours we worked on it first of all, and how much all the supplies were and what it cost to get it done, and then sort of just our hours and that, and then we just were like, we'll try this, and some of them are priced quite like, if most of them I would say are like a little bit on the $1,000 mark, the odd piece over that, but to be honest, we add it up and they're sort of like quite niche. No one else has ever done that sort of style. We've been trying to look everywhere for this sort of street art steampunk style, because we're wanting to bring like the street style to life, but using steampunk and like recycled street stuff.
Man, it's a good move, because what happens is like you guys are attacking in so many fronts, like you guys are doing so many things. So like, who knows which will be the one that will get more attention, who knows? And then suddenly you are DJing and it becomes a thing, and then people are like, oh, did you know that they're also artists, man? Go have a look. And then suddenly you also have that to offer.
Yes.
Like, so put the price and keep it there. Like, stay it. People will create the value for you, and that's what we're understanding even with this right now. We were chatting about it before, right? Some people come and say, oh, you guys are doing the podcast, it's been a while, where's the money? And I'm like, well, we get offered. People come and say, oh yeah, can you come and do the live stream, like a funeral, like 4 hours away, and then like you got to take all the things out of here, and how much are you going to actually make at the end of the day? Not much. So like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Like maybe that energy, maybe that time to put into something that is not going to bring much back can stay here. And we focus on what we're doing, like, so you put the price, and it's there.
And some
it's
pieces
fine.
we actually, it's for sale up there right now, and priced a little bit higher because we don't want to sell them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Massive amounts of prices. I didn't want to sell it.
Don't want to sell it.
Dad's like, these are mad.
Dad didn't want to sell some. They are. That's what they're for.
That's a cool little sneak peek, put it out to your phone and be like, follow the map.
Or come to the festival and then we might sell it.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's definitely was a big journey, the gallery. It's still happening. It's still up there. I just haven't been to the city for a while. We're like just about to really get into the production for Abracadabra Festival. Like tomorrow we go get plywood tomorrow, and then we're starting to like we work most of the time full week, 3 days, 4 days a week, and then we will be doing later at night, but mainly weekends on stage art, stage production. And that's like me drawing and starting our vibes for stage art, not as in gallery art, but definitely good bringing up that conversation about the exhibition. I think that was amazing. That was Ali who got the Valley profile onto us. They wouldn't even known. And then I'm looking at possibly putting mine and Reuben's pieces up on a friend's website, Sice Entertainment. He's an amazing platform. It's like New Zealand's electronic music platform. He's trying to build to bring the whole community of all genres of music together. Big shout out. He's actually running my tickets for Abracadabra. He has been a massive inspiration to me. Sorry, I'm ranting on about him. His name's Stan, but he actually was inspiration to all of us as well with the festivals. He was running parties under Impossible Objects, so those were quite moving for us as young ravers. We were just he put an experience on for us that were like what we try to give now, making them really good. So
We had to do our first stage production for him.
we had to do our first ever like stage production at his festival, Otherlands Festival in Huntly, and it was a big journey. That was a full on one, but honestly, what happens there has grown us to what we are today.
Man, where is the... Did you want to say something?
I was just going to say, that's what's so important about these things, like whether it's music festivals or you're sharing your art in a gallery or even just in your backyard, you know, it's about sharing those experiences, what helps create those communities, and being able to keep those experiences in a community is just like absolute magic. You know, that's what is necessary for lots of massive and important things to happen in any sort of spectrum on the world, you know, like, and it's just to be able to hold that in the arts and music. It's just I literally don't have the words. It's like, it's quite unfathomable to me, actually. So it's crazy that you're
it's great that it's fascinating for you two who have both been interviewing people for months now, and that you both obviously have interest and a vibe on what we're doing. It's stoked as, but
we also love to party, bro.
Man.
We also love to party, bro.
Man.
We all love to party. We've actually had like little breaks off having proper like parties. Like I was saying at the start, like I only been to one festival besides our own over the last fair while. I had a break over New Year's because we were working on the little private one for my business partner, and then just honestly, it all came down to partying, and I find that could possibly be my meaning to my life in a way, as giving great experience to the world. I'll just note this. I'm open to note this one out, but like I feel the world is in. I actually don't dwell on it, but the world is in big stages of change, as well as it is a harsh place as well as an amazing place. And I felt like when I first started doing parties, it was my gift to bring experience to people, to bring better into the world.
How much do you drink when you're partying?
That's my deep.
That was beautiful. Thanks for that.
Yeah, that was my deeper sort of yarns. If I was to bring it deepness, I just feel like the world, it needs good things to be done, just like ALTBAYS is doing.
That connectivity, the essence of it all. It's important.
I feel like it's the best. To bring it.
The real good buzz about it is the hard work you put into it. How every single person there appreciates everything you do.
Yeah, absolutely,
The feeling that you get off that. Just drive.
Yeah, man.
And that's what has driven us from the start. Is like, I just love. It is a vibe when you walk up to the stage in that first few hours of people who have just all wandered in, or like the first night on the dance floor, and you just, not as in like ego boosting, like coming up to you, hugging you, going, this is amazing, but you just see people just pumping it, like just loving it, and just and then you hear like combos like, this is so dope, like, oh, like whatever, and you're just like, fuck, our hard work has paid off.
Man,
that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Are you that kind of guy who needs a couple of drinks to get in the zone to play?
Funny that, because to play a set, I sometimes actually have like, where's a quick drink? I need to just ease up my nerves a little bit. But the last few events, like if I'm running an event, because like I was just mentioning, a lot of them have been my own events. As sort of like director, as I have a big team with me as well, I can easily slack off and get wasted, and they'll be able to run the festival pretty damn smoothly. But to be honest, I like being in control. control freak sort of vibes, but like I want to see what's happening at my festival I've been working on for 3 months. So for the drinks, I might be able to have I can actually have as much as I want. I'll get wasted as if I have more than 5 or 6 probably, but like honestly at the moment I'll probably just have one a night at some of the events maybe. But yeah, like for me, it was my 25th birthday the other day, and I had my first few drinks with my mates that night. So yeah, like drinking to me, it's not like I don't need it for socializing.
Good.
Let's bring that one up because that's a big thing. I don't need it to feel like to fit in or anything like that. I don't even really dig the taste, but there's been some really nice taste stuff that because lately, like back in the day, yeah, 5 years ago it would be like KGP's like cans or something.
That's terrible, bro. Don't say that out loud again.
I'm not doing that.
I feel the shame over here, bro. And like, wow.
Oh, I don't even know. Oh, it was like bourbon back in the day.
So bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chloe.
Okay,
Lime
Cruiser,
kind of methylated
like-
spirits
Okay,
vibe,
so
like
it's just
what
like-
you can find.
Yeah,
It's
so
very like-
it's just like
Alcohol
RTD.
doesn't agree with you.
No, RTD.
Shut Dad. Dad
Yeah,
just
shut-
Dad just
shut-
said that. Oh no, it's because alcohol doesn't agree with you.
Yeah, yes. Oh, you guys. No, I stay away from any. The other day I was doing some catering for the crew coming around to our house. Might have been for a gig, but it was like a month ago, and it was my first time walking into a liquor store only a month ago. So
First time ever.
First time this year.
Ah, okay.
this
I was
year.
like, whoa,
Good,
bro.
good, good, good.
Oh, sorry.
Whoa, bro.
First
You
time
were
this
drinking
year,
your
I
mates'
mean.
KGBs?
No,
Wow.
no.
Like,
What a tight chap. Yes. Nah,
Dad's cracking
Coming
up.
to the liquor store. Wow.
Dad's like, that's not my son.
no.
Gone up since the last time I was here.
Fucking hell. Oh, anyway. yeah. Well, I'm trying to make it as like a statement that I'm not a drinker.
Yeah, nice.
Man,
I ain't no pisshead.
Man, that's cool. And you know what, like, I heard that not that long ago, this friend came to me, and because like she offered me a drink, and I was like, oh, I don't drink anymore. And but like she had this memory of me working at a bar because I did that for years. And then she said, I feel like a lot of the young people are drinking less because there's this massive, very like not great vibe of people still drinking a lot, and like the culture of like getting smashed quickly and like I can drink more than you, which is a shame.
Yep.
But it exists. But like she put into perspective, she was like, nah, I actually talk to a lot of young people. I think now we kind of always go back to the access to information that we have nowadays, you know, there is so much. More people is speaking up, more people being, you know, out there. And I think, man, we're not where we should be, but we're going towards that of like being able to chat. Because sometimes you just need to say what you're feeling instead
you,
of
Chloe.
going hard on that alcohol, you know, like, so I liked what you said, and I was like, cool, because I feel like that too, you know. Sometimes all you need, it's a good conversation or like or like going on the dance floor and enjoying it, and then the alcohol becomes like, oh, cool, I can have a drink. It's not that I need
Yes.
a drink. You know,
So,
like
yeah.
it's the relationship to the thing, because we have so many vices, you know, like so many things about like, if you don't allow them to own you, like you have to be in control of them, right? So
Yes.
so that's why I asked you,
Yep,
because
yep. Now
from
I'm-
someone who is so focused, I can see it being quite detrimental, because sometimes the geniuses, they're crazy in the head, you know, like they go hard on substances, you know, because they're so active on what they're doing that sometimes they go hard, you know. And when you told me before, I'm not even drinking that much, I'm like, I'm gonna bring that up, because for an active guy, for someone who is focusing, it's nice that you say, I'm actually trying to take control of these things.
Yeah, and I enjoy being I enjoy being 100% conscious, let's say. So there's times when you don't want that, and it can just be, I want to just chill out, smoke a joint or something like that, you know. But to be honest, I want to be, I like being in control, and to be honest, it comes down to like the sort of deeper side of it, is when I'm at the festival, as much as lately. The last few, I probably haven't been on the dance floor as much as I would have been in previous years. Like, it's because it's just getting bigger and a bit busier, and I want to be more on the dance floor, not having to be on the walkie-talkie or something like that. But
depends on what they're playing on the walkie-talkie, right?
Are you playing chess back at the headquarters? Hey, who's winning? But I actually quite like the mission that's involved with running a festival in the middle of the festival at 11 o'clock at night. As much as people might be saying Janik's fucking crazy right now, you don't like that. There's actually a part of me that's an adrenaline rush. It's like there's not things that go wrong, let's say, but there could just be something happening. There's a thrill of like being like, you've just got like 100 people like hissing, like pumping on the dance floor. You've got like this bit up here and lounge, just like really just vibes. Everyone's laughing. You've got the jail. We had a jail at the Ponderosa Ranch, but like that, there's all the vibes happening over there. And then there's just like a couple guys and like, Yanni, we need to fix this light up on the disco ball. Like, it's just hit to the side and it's going up, but it's not getting the full thing. But it's like, we need a ladder. And we need a guy to hold the ladder, and we need some duct tape, and then like you run back and you get like your ammunition on you, and it's like the funniest way, it's like a festival. It's like a festival game, and you're like on a mission, and you've got like two sidekicks. That one of them will probably be leading the way, and I'm sort of just behind, and I'm just like, yeah, we're just fixing disco ball over here. How's chess going? but yeah, we're just like, we'll do like missions.
Yeah.
As much as it's now fully distracting from the dance floor and the most like essence of the festival, there's these little driving things that a lot of other people will be able to say yes to on this as well, as there is a bit of a buzz in doing missions during the festival,
Yeah.
or like pre-festival as well. But like sometimes in the festival you don't want to be distracted, but sometimes for me, if I've had enough of dancing or I just wanting to do something, it might even be just going and fill the generator up with another mate.
Yep.
But there's these small things that contribute to the festival to enhance the experience that are happening in the background, and you feel like you're like the fuel and oil to the festival machine.
Yeah.
You're the blood and guts of it.
And already there's so much stuff we've already all prepped to even make it where we are, but at that time you do that job and you're like, shit's running smooth.
Nice,
and then you sort of like walk off and you'll just like go up to the kitchen and grab a little snack or
Grab
something.
a KGB.
Oh fuck, should have never said that.
Man, where did the idea of putting the prison in the thing came? And the reason why I'm asking that is because it's in Brazil we have it's a traditional thing that every month of June we celebrate. It's kind of like celebrating the culture of, let's say, the countryside. So people kind of like dress up in more of like a rural style, you know, like some people see it as a bit like, not cool anymore, but it's a form of celebration. And there's all these elements that make those parties very special. So like there's the kiss booth, is that
Kissing
how you call it?
booth? Yeah,
Kissing
yeah.
booth, you know, like that.
Yeah.
And then, but there's this part where you can actually arrest someone. So you pay, because usually it's like the church who promotes it, or like a social work thing, you know. So everything that is being consumed that goes towards some charity or a cause. Yeah. So like there's the officer walking around in the parties, and then you can actually give him like a couple of dollars or whatever, and you say the name, and then he goes and he takes you to jail, you know, like, like, you know, like you stay in the prison for like 10 minutes or whatever, someone walks past, you know, laughs at you because
it's like a skit, or like a little bit of a skit that happens in the, not planned, but you can make.
Well, you were taken to jail and you were handcuffed.
Okay. So that's the Brazilian version, you know, like just to play. So is that kind of what was happening? Could you take a friend?
Yeah,
How was the thing
I
with
would
the
say it
jail?
was like there was a couple of little couches in there, and you could look out. So the main big
Already a fancy jail.
Yeah.
Couches, Taylor.
That's
Cool, man.
Just like steel
In Brazil,
bars and
there's-
concrete floor.
In Brazil, it's piss all over. No,
yeah, they could have. I felt like the jail could have been some of the unknown. Some of the substances were happening in the jail. So that was. That's where.
well, you're already in jail, right? What else can you do?
Yeah, so. Yeah, so.
Unless you've been living fucking hell, then you got somewhere worse to go. Otherwise,
I think jail was a happy place.
Everyone wanted to go to jail.
Nice.
Yeah, everyone loved the jail. And to be honest, it's going to be the sound and lighting booth because it's in the perfect position behind the stage for future. But at the moment, the jail was an add-on to the ranch. We had a saloon. We made a jail sign, and
Nice.
we had like this mean as big old school deck. We had the cozy kitchen that was like kitchen. We had the sort of chefs working. That's where we fed people. We fed one meal each day, and then
such a good idea.
yeah, and so the jail was just an add-on as. We were all just saying we need to have a jail at this ranch festival, and then it added up like this is actually a great little thing. It's got a few bits of storage in it at the moment that we don't mind actually getting a bit of weatherproof, weather damage. It's all just storage stuff. So yeah, the jail is a fun place.
Man, the idea of like, you know, we all have the child within, you know, like,
yes.
man, you give some coloring things, you know, and the children are engaging and they're loving it and they're creating things in their minds. And like, as we grow up, we lose that shit.
Yes.
But everybody loves to play.
Yes.
You know, and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
always something, you know, like we all play it cool. But man, if someone comes up with something engaging and that is looking good, everyone gets on, you know, like I remember when we had a cool party here at the Monkey Theater. Now it's a proper bar, but like they used to rent the space for parties. And Taylor and I, we saw this little corner that was kind of like a green room, but we built the stage at the opposite side, you know? So we were like, what are we gonna do with this room? And then we're like, man, those blue lights would be cool. So we covered it, like we asked the friends to bring these acrylics, all white acrylics, so we covered it. And then we put the blue lights, and then we gave paintings, you know, we gave coloring thing, the fluorescent ones for people to sign. Man, next minute people were bringing like paints for the face and putting all over, like and leaving messages.
Yeah, that's
To,
it.
you know, and then
the
you-
cheesy glow party.
But like, but that's the thing. But that's the thing. It was
It's a phase. It's a phase.
But that's
Okay,
the thing.
everyone knows.
No, but that's it was not. It was not the purpose of it. Like the party was a different vibe, you know. Like it was a completely.
Those
But
little rooms are great.
but there was the little. There was the little room.
Yeah, the little room is
That was-
it nearly always makes its way into every gig, to be honest. And I'm just trying to think.
It's a part of like
You could decorate the room.
Yeah, it did.
it's all a part of like my favorite stories of any sized kind of party is like that weird random moment where you're like some people get like stuck in there for ages, like you know they're just like the room dweller, and like there's a various like things happen obviously in those rooms, but there's always like a room. There's always a room, or it's considered the room. You know?
That's the room. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well-
there is always. Yes, there's the room.
Yeah.
Man,
like every stop.
This is a cool subject because I feel like we're living at a great time for people who are open their minds and accepting to talk about different things, and that's why I always mention Chloe Schrobeck, the Auckland mayor,
Yep.
making that effort to have the drug tests in festivals.
Yes.
You know,
a
like
great thing,
man, you know, like people say, "Ooh, you cannot talk about it," and you're like, "Why not?" You know, like people are damaging themselves. Everybody knows what's going on, and someone is coming up with a good idea and saying, let's at least treat this as a health
And safety
thing and
precaution.
safety, yes,
Yeah.
you know, because if the law wants to turn their back to it, you know, someone has to do something about it, you know, like, so we joke, and because we know the environment, you know, so like that's why I like to bring this conversation to the table, because it's actually a motivator to talk more about it, to normalize, so everybody can play smart and have the fun the way that we should be having fun. You know, for the people who don't need anything and they're all good, man, all good. But you should not criticize what's happening with the other people. You know, like they should be as safe as you to have their fun.
Yes, exactly right. And you're bringing up a great conversation here. It's been in the work for years, a few years, but Chloe
Schwabrick, yep.
Yep.
She's really bring it to life. And now past, and it is happening at all festivals. Like at all big festivals. We haven't had to fit it in, we haven't had to even have it or been able to fit it yet, but I would look at it definitely in the future. But honestly, it is probably the best. There's still heaps of growing aspects to New Zealand's like festival culture, and the drugs thing will be something that you'll never be able to stop. Let's say it's you can't stop it, but we can put plans in place as more of like a health and safety way of looking at it to make sure shit doesn't get out of hand. That's obviously finding out if there's a bad drug that's going around in your festival is a big one, and or if there's like, yeah, that's the main thing, is the testing of the substances, making sure what you're getting is what you know you bought, or like you think you bought this but you bought something totally different. And people are always going to be bringing shit to the festivals. It's a hard one to stop, but I feel like at the moment, if we small, it would be something on the scale of like making sure there's water and food and all the good crew, as in security and main crew, to keep an eye on the situation. You don't want to see anyone in a bad situation, first of all, but if you see what's happening, if you see these people sort of giving their new mate, like, come on, bro, have more of this, like, and you see he's not having a good time, you need to have people who can step in, and that's a whole nother role on my side, where our director and that, but also the main crew is in standing up and stepping in when you see that there's something not happening. That's not even just drugs. That's to do in general. That's just as in someone bullying someone, someone disrespectful with the the whole consent sort of thing. That's a whole nother topic that's like comes up. It's nearly just as big as drugs and stuff. Is like consent is key, basically. If it's a fuck, if it's a not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. That's just one sign I saw.
It's a pretty fair way to put it. It has to be clear.
And honestly, these things need to be talked about. You're bringing it up here tonight. It's perfect platform to be more talk about it. Yes, we're getting all drug tested at the festivals now, but out there, make sure you know what you're fucking getting, guys, and make sure you look after your friends and hydrate your friends and feed your friends and make sure they have a sleep.
Yeah, because just because.
Leo, I think
do you want to jump in, Taylor?
it would be important to just maybe explain what it is, because in the way you put, probably people who is not in New Zealand, they don't know.
You mean explaining what the test, the drugging test is? Can you explain better than me, probably?
Yeah, I can.
Please?
So at the moment, I should know the second one.
Doesn't have to be like, but just an idea of what.
There is a crew, I would say nearly like a charity-run business, similar to like something small like St. John's Medics. They Know Your Stuff NZ, and then there is a couple more. I forgot their names. And Know Your Stuff is basically making sure you know your stuff. And they will come to your festival or your event, and they will get their camp set up with a big gazebo and run their own thing as a drug testing unit to make sure your drugs are what you think they are at no cost. So that's where they are actually getting funded. They need funding, or they actually need support, but our government has allowed that to happen now because it was illegal 12 months ago, I think, or maybe 2 years ago, to even have these drug testing people come to the festival. But they used to come under like safe space, deep space. That's another one. Deep space, know your stuff. And they would come to the festival. They would get their little site on site, and they will test your drugs for free to make sure that you're getting, your shit is the shit you think it is.
Do you have any connections with them? Do you know anyone
I haven't.
who is part of
I've
this?
met a
Because
couple.
you need it at some stage.
Yes.
Because you're growing.
Yes. So I do have a couple of good connections. They've ran like deep spaces, but they, to be honest, they don't need to be under a business name, or they don't need to be. But obviously, you're going to need a supply of you need scientists
tests and stuff.
you need a
Yeah.
scientist and trustworthy. That's another big thing. Like you're needing trust. People who are
This is fake.
Professional,
This is fake.
qualified.
I'm gonna take it for examination.
yes.
Yeah, they're like, they said they only needed a swab worth. They're like, no, I gotta test the whole bag, man. Test the whole bag. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
It's your last bump.
Back.
Sorry, bro. It's the whole thing. Sorry, man.
Honestly, it's actually a thing that I have little ideas of getting a tight crew that have run them before, and like run our own like TBM testing. Like as our own, like at our own festival, and we have like our own deep space under our own sort of logo and that, and we have like qualified people that it could be paid role as actually testing them, but at the moment so small. And like I was saying earlier about the intelligent party people, you quite a lot of trust that they know what they
they're
want,
dealing with, yeah.
and they get what they want.
Yeah.
You know, like they know what they know what they're getting, but not everyone's all about that stuff. But it is a good feeling knowing that there's people there that know their shit, know their stuff. Sorry for saying shit so much, because it's not that good, the stuff. It's all pretty shit. Yeah, so, but yeah, that's all something that you can't stop. And yeah, that's the best way to explain it. They will come to your festival, test your drugs, and it's actually legal in New Zealand for these people to come here now and do this at your festival.
Fantastic. Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Thanks for putting that in a very clear way, because this is something that, as you noticed, our show praises diversity. You know, like we want to bring these kind of people to come and have a chat. You know,
Yes.
it's someone with authority, because it's hard when you say, oh, you know, like the testing. Oh, who are they? You know, like, and obviously you have people with a lot of knowledge and who can do that work, you know? So like Taylor and I, we were talking about it the other day. It was like, oh, it would be cool to have someone who does like drug testing, you know, like someone who's got that knowledge and is the forefront at the end of the day. Is the people dealing with the people.
Yeah,
it's not
correct.
someone right at the top, you don't even know who it is, writing, this should be. There's not like, man, when you see what people are living, in what conditions they are, like you create that empathy. You know, like you share much more than just a result, a yes or no. You're actually engaging with that person and having a chat. You know, imagine for someone in that position to say, I don't think you should use this, but I have no control over what you're going to do with this.
Yeah.
This is not easy.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what they do, right? They do the
Yeah.
test. It doesn't mean that they
Yeah,
take it out of you,
No,
right?
they don't.
Man,
No,
The idea is that for example, for someone, I can only imagine
Yep.
that if you had drugs, you may carry it in a bag. And the idea is if you were a bit suspect about it, you'd approach these people, you approach this tent, and you give them like a sample amount. So you're not always physically giving over the whole whatever. It's only a small sample because of the idea of like illegally. Like it's obviously illegal to carry certain substances. So the idea is you don't hand over your whole bag. So there's no real compromising factor between like giving something back, because that's obviously a possession of drugs thing.
Yep.
It's a matter of like a sample. Like I approach you with.
Thanks for saying
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That's,
you've
like
made
crumbs,
it.
yeah.
You've made it very clear, because it's funny that
Because otherwise you're just
actually
like
never-
handing illegal drugs over to someone that's like obviously a company that's like in
I've,
public.
I've
Like-
actually never been to the tent. I've like walked past and like I actually a mate got sent there once.
Oh, now you're saying
Oh,
that
like
dad
they-
came back.
Yeah,
Suddenly you never.
Yeah, well,
I only drink KGBs. I don't move into the drug tent.
Just the real drugs.
yeah, well, honestly, Chloe sounds like she knows.
I have. I've been to a festival where they've had drug testing available,
Yeah.
which was awesome. And I've also been to one where they kind of gave out this, it wasn't in New Zealand, but they gave out swabs. Like you could go approach them and these certain swabs tested for like one of four, like four
What country
things.
was that?
Australia.
Okay,
There was this
cool.
thing. I don't know if it was I don't know any of the laws over there and stuff. And it's maybe 4 or 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
But you could go approach them, and I knew a friend who found something on the ground and wasn't sure. Wasn't sure. And like a group of people were like, "Oh, bro, like go to this coloured tent, like blah blah, over by the first aiders, like go get a swab and you can figure it out. Like good on you, like good fucking luck, you know."
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Right.
if you found $20 on the ground, you'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna keep that."
Yeah. And there's a clip for the ALTBAYS clips.
Come on, Chloe.
What did you want to say, Taylor?
Just before we change the topic, I would like to bring another topic that is very fresh here. That is New Zealand's approving a law that says that everybody who born after 2019 won't be allowed to buy any tobacco or any product coming from tobacco.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen
You guys haven't heard about it?
2019 or 2009?
19.
I think it's 19, bro.
I think it's 19.
I'm not sure.
We can
yeah.
double check, but I think it's 19.
No, that's actually just the yarn with Mum on the couch the other day. We actually had a yarn about it. She said that there was by just scrolling on online news feeds popped up that they're passing the law on people. So let's say a 3-year-old at the moment is not allowed
it
to buy
19?
cigarettes when they
Is it
turn
19?
18.
It could
Yeah,
be
because
9.
yeah,
I'm not
because,
sure.
no, because there's that
9.
massive because there's that massive
19.
because there's that massive push to make New Zealand smoke free by like 2050.
What? Is it? Or,
I thought it was like 2030.
Okay, Jesus.
Something
yeah.
like. Well, I mean, I'm not to sound like it's not a good thing,
Yeah.
like that. I'm not like all for it, but it seems like it's like real soon, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
but they've already like
But they're doing well, like-
restrictions on nicotine are like
Yeah.
pretty good at the
Wait,
moment.
wait. But
It is,
it
it is.
doesn't mean that it won't be possible to get hold of it. It means that it will be very strict, the places where you
Illegal.
can buy.
And then
illegal?
people is gonna grow.
Illegal?
Yeah.
Is the word
Yeah, and then
illegal?
yeah.
Are you
black
sure?
market and everything.
I mean,
No.
tobacco's
Isn't
just
it-
fun.
isn't it-
grow it?
Yeah.
Isn't it just like in specific shops and probably because in Japan, for example, they have those little squares.
Yeah, you can smoke. You, have
You
to smoke
can
in-
only smoke in the and it's the cool place to be. You know?
Yes, yeah.
I'm joking, but it's always busy.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so that was my reaction when I heard that, because Taylor and I, we just had a quick chat and we're like, you know what? Let's save it for the shows because people will have different opinions about it. I appreciate the move. It's cool, but we all know that when you tell someone that they cannot do something, you get very excited about doing that thing,
Yeah.
right? So how was
I'm
the
feeling like smoking now.
Yeah.
because do you feel or you don't?
Nah, just because it's gonna become something like legal. You
Yeah.
know?
So how was the yarn with Mum about that?
We were having a yarn about it, and I thought it was 2009. I got a little bit more into it, like why 2009. But let's say you got born in 2009, you will be, you would be
You're doing the maths.
It's not easy
Sorry.
life, man. It's not easy.
13, 14, and I thought they were thinking proactively, as in that whoever's been in 2009, got born in 2009, will be in the early stages before they start dabbling and stuff. So I thought that might be a good chance to stop these 13 and 14 year olds.
Cusp, yeah.
13, 14 and 15 year olds, because I was like, 2009, that's a good time to do it, because they're not old enough to get into that yet, even though there would be the odd one. But I'm like, let's not get them addicted before they're 18. Let's just hope they're not addicted before they're 18. But 2019, 3-year-old doesn't even know what one is yet. But
But that's when if you implement something and you give time
Yeah.
and then you start to
Yeah.
change the conditions slowly, because I just read a little bit and just over it, but like the lady said, oh, there's more regulations to sell a sandwich nowadays in New Zealand than actually to sell a cigarette. That's why it feels to me that if you give years for it to happen, you can start to make like small changes. By the time they're 10, it's gonna be very expensive maybe, or very hard to find, you know, like, so it could be like
You're saying that, like, yeah, let's say it was 2009, let's say, our 14-year-old in 4 years, well, it's going to fly quite quickly. That 18-year-old,
And man,
he's
the-
going to be
the-
flipping
man,
out if he's addicted.
the 13,
and
14
can't
years
get it.
old.
But if he's 3 and we generally
it's
do a
already
big-
it's like wearing the seatbelt,
Yeah.
you know,
Gradually.
like when suddenly you had to wear the seatbelt,
Yep.
it was not easy because you were just not used to it. But if you're 5 and someone is saying seatbelt, 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 by the time you're 11, it's seatbelt time, you know, like get in the car, seatbelt.
Seatbelt.
Sorry,
It's
that just
true.
made me think of something. You talk
Say
about
it.
for a 5-year-old, it's easy, you know. Leo picked me up this tonight, and we were driving, and we're already like, give or take 3 to 5 minutes into the drive, coming down Buffalo Beach Road, and we're talking, and I'm talking about something random, and he just randomly reaches over and has a little look, and I was like, what were you looking at? He's like, just checking. I was like, checking if I have my seatbelt on. He's like, yeah. I was like, of course, I get the fine. Of course I'm going to have my seatbelt on. He's like, you know, I just don't trust you. I was like, what? Now getting compared to like a 5-year-old can learn more than I can.
Okay,
Shock me.
okay.
So that just
Seatbelt.
reminded
Okay.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
seatbelt.
I didn't want to say the whole thing because I must say I got a little bit traumatized last night, and I was actually I'm keen to write something and to make it public, but I'm thinking if I should or not. But now I'm saying at ALTBAYS, so there you go. I left the studio last night with Taylor. We were working late, like we were getting into a new project here, and it was midnight, late-ish for Fitzianga, late.
Yep.
So we finished. I got my car. There's the roundabout that goes to like out of town,
Yep.
but it's on my way to my place. And we drive 50K here, right? So you can drive up to 50.
Or 50 kilometer travel or 50K?
No, I'm sorry,
per hour.
speed.
Yeah,
Speed.
yeah.
So I turn like at the roundabout. So like, you know, I was not going that fast.
Yeah.
And it's always my way home. For some reason, I was actually cruising last night, you know, like we had a chat. I was a bit tired, you know, like, so I was not making an effort to go
Yep.
50 or even a little bit more when you want to go home and no one is in the street, you know, like, let's be adults here, you know, we've been there. But I was just cruising. Right in front of me, where there's a street, just like a tiny residential street,
Yeah.
this massive pickup
Truck.
like no lights, just crosses, like, that was my preference. I was in the big street, the main street, so like obviously whoever is crossing has to stop and look, man. So like we were not too close.
They did a do or die.
Fuck, like no consequences at all. Like he just and it was not like a thing like he got his foot out of the accelerator and kind of like cruised. Nah, he was gaining. He was like vroom, and I was like, wow, like
What you
three-
reckon? 3 second gap?
that was in my mind. I was like, a 3-second thing, it could have hit me at the front, on me, at the back, wherever, I would be screwed. You know, like so that thing.
And is this the first time talking about it, but you two both know?
I didn't tell anyone.
After I just gave him shit about checking on his friend
tell
for
anyone
a
because,
seatbelt.
because I actually
cheeky, Leo.
because
No,
because I
that's
woke
deep.
up.
That is very deep.
Because I woke up and I remembered a friend who almost drowned
fuck.
at Hot Water Beach, and he wrote a beautiful letter and he put on the newspaper, you know, like just to bring awareness to people. And I was thinking, I was like, maybe I should do something like that, you know?
No lights on either.
Huh?
It looked like it.
No lights, bro. Like he came, vroom, and he crossed in front of me, and I was like, wow. Like because and even funnier, like I told Taylor
I saw the guy doing that. He came from behind the pub. He crossed the same
Really?
in front of Pink's, went on the car
Gee-
park, and then he crossed to the road where you were.
See, we
Yeah.
didn't
Oh,
even
were
talk
you in
about
the
it
car behind him?
because we both
We left
left.
at the same time.
Oh,
so
and you sort of
yeah.
saw it
I
and-
saw the same guy doing it one road
Did you guys call the police?
Same night, same.
Full. I
Which
didn't know what
police,
to do.
mate?
To make a
Which
complaint,
police?
like-
Police is on TikTok, bro.
Eh?
What?
Police are. I'm not sure if they would. Do you think they would do?
Well, with hoons and stuff, no, but
No, you can
no,
report.
seriously,
You can report
yeah.
dangerous driving.
Yeah, with hoons and stuff, they tend to, especially here, because usually if there's a car that's, you know, doing fuckhead shit like that at the roundabout, and like you just confirmed, Taylor, that you've seen them in town doing more fuckhead dangerous driving, that usually people will call in, and like if it's a problem, if the police are like, oh shit, this
They
same
can-
ute's been caught here,
makes sense.
here, and driving on properties or driving
Cool.
dangerous.
Thanks
they
for
will
letting
tend
me
to-
know.
The
Yeah.
problem,
Nice.
Koi, is that we Brazilians, you know, we avoid police to the last consequence.
Just not big fans.
Yes.
Just not big fans.
Yes, definitely. No, honestly.
Never call the police, but
that
get your
sounds
drugs
like,
tested.
that sounds like very like one of those moments that are so close, but nearly like a wake up. For you, it wasn't a wake up as in you were doing anything bad, but like a reality check.
Wow,
Yeah.
like so fragile, you
Like-
know, like life, you know, like
Yeah.
we're having time, we're having a good time.
And what time?
It was like
12:30? Yeah, 12.
max.
Yeah, 12. And
Thursday night,
and Thursday night, quiet as fuck.
Man.
But you've got what the whole piss ups at the pubs around here, but
They're
they
probably not even that
finish it
late.
at
Yeah.
10 on
Yeah.
a Thursday. But
and like that are all the movements
yes.
happening during the night that
Yeah.
we're all aware of in
that's why
small
I asked
towns.
if I should shut the bottom door.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But,
You're right.
Is it shut now? Or are there other people up there?
And it's the main streets, so we actually there's not much of a problem where we are here right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's
Oh,
commercial.
yeah, what's the
commercial
time?
Don't worry, just when all the gear gets stolen, we'll just be like, bro, it's because you didn't shut the door.
9 p.m.
Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it is closed. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, cool.
because Hector left, so it is closed.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
But man, you know, like it was just funny because you made a comment about the seatbelts, but like it's just a thing for me. Today I was checking my seatbelts. I was, you know, like I always drive cautiously and I pay attention, but like today I was just kind of like making an extra effort to make sure that everything is all right.
Yes, yes,
you know,
yeah.
so that's why I checked your seatbelt.
No, I appreciate it. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Because
yeah.
of the tobacco, that's how we start the conversation.
And we
right?
were talking about the tobacco thing,
Yes.
but anyway, we took a segue and we're back. But how was the chat with mom about the tobacco, man?
Oh, yeah, we were chatting about that. Oh, yeah. I think we already I sort of explained it, that I thought it was 2009, and I was saying that a 14-year-old, like, been
Yes.
born.
But do you personally think it's a good move?
I hate tobacco. Dad knows that. His dad smokes, and I've been trying to get him off them, and we are working on it.
Just drop your dad in the shit.
Yeah. Sorry, Dad. And then mum is on her vape now, and sweet.
Hey. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. So mum's on the vape,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's been a bit of work, but she's on it. Has a ciggy once a week maybe, and really hates it. Like just if she's run out of vape pods or something.
Yeah, so did she, one question in that, my opinion, I think it's a great idea. I grew up in like a smoking household. Luckily when I came along, my mum stopped smoking inside, yet she still smoked and it killed her. But I unfortunately was around it and started smoking quite young.
Okay.
But then I like switched to vaping in the hope that I would quit. Yet now I still vape and the equivalent. I always used to say that I would like smoke way more, but like when I think about it now, I probably vape just as much, if not more, because of the convenience. Like I get away with vaping inside rather than having to make the mission and stand outside and be stinky and stuff like that. That me and me saying that's like I'm not going to put it down anytime soon. I don't think it's my own personal thing, but I genuinely believe it's a good idea. But like I mean, just like Leo touched on, anytime something is so demonized, even if it is truly bad, there's always going to be that little slither of people or groups of people that will still do it. Like people obviously reference it to like the black market.
Yep.
I wanted to ask, did your books? You saying your mum still smokes a dart now and then? Like
Yeah,
the few
just
times
occasionally, yeah.
the few times I've tried, it's absolutely made me fucking sick.
Yep.
And but did your mum start vaping in the hope to
Quit. Yeah, to
and now
quit.
she just like vapes.
Yeah, just the vapes.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
a good thing. Obviously, pods, 2 pods, $15 last
Yeah.
4 days. Where a pack of ciggies could be
Boom.
25 to 35, and they last.
They're
a
so
day
expensive.
Day and a half, and obviously, let's hope the vape health is better. I already love the smell, or rather love the smell of it, because I quite like the smell of vapes. It reminds me of dance floors. But
that's like that, but that's a whole nother issue in itself, like the whole war on nicotine, and like everyone knows how bad it is. But with this whole vaping thing, like it's a real different way. Like there was a whole big stage there where numbers of smokers were like sort of dropping. Like it wasn't cool to smoke anymore, and it was quite established. However, when vaping sort of came out, it was sort of pushed as an idea to help you quit smoking. However, very quickly it turned into fruity, colourful, and now things like fidget spinner vapes and all the trends to hide them.
What?
Like a fidget spinner? You must know, you're a teacher.
I know what it is, but
yeah,
really,
but then people, now it's pushed as like super advertised towards children, because why would you market something to be sweet and flavoursome that's like to help you stop smoking? Like that was one of the biggest draws with smoking, is it smell and taste disgusting, but now you've just made it taste and smell amazing.
Yes.
And you're like, ooh, against smoking. I was like, oh, I think it's a bigger issue back there. I don't think you'll get rid of nicotine, but you might get rid of cigarettes, but you're not going to get rid of nicotine.
Nah, nicotine, and then also the waste that comes off each pod, and I don't know, and
I think it's a production thing too.
Yeah, it is. It would be massive, but the latest yarn, we might have to have double checks and Google searches on this, but is the vapes that have guarana or like the energy hits in them. Yeah, the caffeine vapes. That's what they are possibly be bringing out. I heard some guys on the job site talking about it. So a vape that has caffeine.
Wow.
That is like having, so an energy vape. Think of that. So your nicotine vape with energy in it is now, for me, it sounds like a drug.
Like
that's
cocaine.
like drugs sort of stuff.
Yeah, but nicotine is a drug.
Like cocaine.
You're just breathing it in.
So that was the yarn, and if it ain't done yet, someone's listening and gonna start it.
Well, on a side note
Take
too,
my money.
Like on a side note though,
Hey.
but there, like tobacco, nicotine is a stimulant. Like, you know how people always say like they only drink when they smoke when they drink and stuff, and that cycle of people. Like once they get to a certain stage of drunkenness, they're just like cigarette, sip, cigarette, sip. It's because alcohol is a depressant, and it's an actual chemical reaction why you tend to smoke more while you drink, because one's a stimulant, one's a depressant. And you just go in that cycle of up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah. Well, creates that craving.
Yeah.
The way that I see is that I can save my teeth instead of drinking coffee and just fuck it up my lungs now.
Hey. Wow.
Yes, yeah, boy.
Man, you know, like, and that's the thing, as you guys were saying, it's appealing to the children, because I remember when I was at school, the bad tastes of the substances wouldn't stop anyone from doing them. Now it feels like it, as you said, made for them. It feels like it is for children, you know?
It's marketed towards them, because, you know, that's what I was saying. It was like quite a well-known thing. I mean, it's like, there's still obviously hundreds of thousands of smokers out there, but it wasn't cool to smoke anymore. Like, obviously in some niche parties, but like overall general, like, census, like, I don't know, I don't have any facts, but it just like people weren't smoking, like young people weren't tapping into it. But then along came vaping, and there's marketing towards and advertising towards them, how to like sneak them into school, that vapes that look like stationery, like what do you call it, fidget spinners, and like all these new laws and restrictions on vape shops and stuff. There's still so many ways around it, like the cute fartsy names and stuff. It's all marketed towards children. No grown man's gonna be like, ooh, sucking on my sweet blueberry fairy, like what the fuck? Like it's marketed towards young people.
And the bigger sort of vapes that have and the bigger vapes that have like heaps of colours and patterns and shit on them, and like they just you actually have sprung a light in my head about vapes are a whole nother market.
Well, I do believe that tobacco is bad for your health, but it does help a lot of people too, you know, like in a ways of like it helps with concentration.
Have you guys seen
that is a benefit of that? And on just to the topic, one more thing is like, I don't know if you guys used to have that in New Zealand, but in Brazil, when I was 5 years old, there was like chocolate cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, like
chocolate,
so.
but in the format of a cigarette
Like, it
box.
was a
Oh,
cigarette.
there was like candies. There was like
you know,
little
so
candy sticks.
it's mainly for kids, you know, like
They used they called them spacemen.
Yeah.
But then the thing is, and like kids would literally, I remember putting them in your mouth and you pretend you're smoking. But at some point they brought out some restriction where they took off on the end. They were just little these white sticks with a little red tip, and now they no longer have the red tip because it was a whole thing about
Mate,
encouraging people to
and
smoke.
that's why people is smoking without filters nowadays.
What?
No, but the red bit was like the flame on the end, like the ember.
Yes, I've seen it. Yeah, they had like this little dollop of fake
Red dye shit
artificial
on them.
dye,
Yeah. But they removed it because it's like not cool to smoke.
Yeah.
But here, have it like a cool coloured
Fidget
little
spinner.
pen
Yeah.
thing. It tastes really fucking good.
Yeah, and so addictive. And
But also people do
probably
forget that you can get nicotine-less vapes.
and yes,
that
and
is what we still we
Nicotine,
need,
but like
we need to still
drugs.
rather get mum on that one. yeah.
And just before I bring a question from the audience, I just want to say again, because I said it probably in a show last week when you were talking to Georgie. There's a very good documentary. It's a 4-episode documentary on Netflix from Michael Pollan called How to Change Your Mind. And 4 episodes, and each episode he talks about a psychedelic, psilocybin, LSD, MDMA, and peyote, the cactus. And he goes with the vision of a teacher, of an educator, of someone who understands the healing properties of those substances and how they were demonized in the 70s with the USA doing that big war on drugs, because obviously people didn't want to go to war, you know, and then they realized that it was better to go hard on them. So like I'm just saying, he starts the first episode by saying that tobacco is actually a leaf, you know, leaves that people grow, and in parts of the world it's actually medicine. Some people call it hape. I don't know, if, you know, that you sniff in from one side of your nose, and there's all these things that makes you quite excited, but there's a reaction that you reflect on. So like, again, parts of the world, different people treat it as medicine. It's something that they have been doing for years, you know. So that's why when I read those news, I was like, this is good because it's actually damaging, but like we cannot forget that we're talking about plants most of the time.
Yeah, too right.
But also with cigarettes, it's like all the other added chemicals as
Yes,
well.
yeah, oh, that's crap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
natural.
yeah.
Natural homegrown tobacco. I know of a few friends that have done that over the years. Can do the trick, but the stuff that's in the packets is a bit nuked. What can we say? I don't know heaps about it, but I'm pretty.
It will fuck you
There's
up.
definitely
pretty
like
bad,
a
yeah.
whole bunch of
there's a whole
shitty,
much
shitty chemicals.
yeah, fucking hell.
Man, there's a cool question here from Matt. We're good friends. Blah, blah, blah. Have you ever thought of doing something like Love Parade in New Zealand?
Ooh, what is Love Parade,
Is the love
Matt?
is it something to do with the LGBTQ plus movement? Can
That's
we
like pride.
Matt, if you're
Pride
still
Parade.
is it? Well, he said Love Parade, and I'm wondering. I can Google it, but Matt, if you are still with us, and you want to say what the
I'm
Love
assuming
Parade
it's
is?
like obviously along some of the festival lines.
Yeah,
he
it could be
said
more
something else
public.
as
It
well.
could be something more like a street party, maybe.
Like Mardi Gras vibes.
Yeah, Mardi Gras street party. If he's talking about like more, I don't know, public-based event.
Is it something that you would fancy that kind of?
Yeah, it's quite hard in these smaller areas. Like there's Cupa Duper music, like arts festival. So that's through the streets of Wellington, on Cuba Street. And I've been to that one once, and definitely, that's built through council, that's built through Cuba Duba Festival organised. There's not like just a certain brand that creates that. They need a lot of council consents and whatever, because they've got multiple stages. But to be honest, I feel like where I am at, I would be hard to do like public parties, let's say, like people in our little towns, even probably same with Whitianga. Yes, there would be a whole bunch of people who love it, but there would be like the whole noise in the town, the whole, do they want it? So there's like Loom, a loom festival or something in Coromandel.
Oh yeah.
What's it called?
It's like a festival of lights.
Yeah, Festival of Lights. So that could be something like more down my realm of like maybe art installations. Let's say in my town, Paidor. But if he's talking like street parade or public parades, probably nothing at the moment, because we're sort of more well, first of all, there's nothing you get back from it in the way of a little bit of funding, if you know what I mean. That's unless it's sponsored, because it's a public event where it would take us months and months to build it, and we get nothing for it unless we have to generate a lot of sponsors from council and whatnot. Because my one that I wasn't really looking at it, putting it through the busy movement as such, but I did want to run a street art. I want to run a street art festival on 5 big walls in Tyrol. So I want to get the town looking better, and long story, but I was head gardener for 3 years of Ngatea, Waihi and Pairo, and worked for Hauraki District Council, and I have pride in like my little towns and the community, and I was actually there for 6 years and sort of moved up over the years and got all my own truck and did all my own circuit and all that. But I had chances, so that's where I got my brother. He's actually a mural artist, and he's painted the Paidor Skate Park. Really, just next level murals. He's done murals around town, big murals in Waihi Beach, everywhere for council. So I do have my public forum at the moment. If it's like public, as in out in the community public, I want to run a street art festival, run over a long weekend. Let's say it's like a Labour weekend. You've got like 3 of the best artists, like 3 really good, well-known artists, and then I'm taking over 3 big walls, and then 2 artists, and that's like small cherry pickers, coned off areas, and people can go wander throughout the weekends, and we have like a little fenced off area, and you watch the artists do their thing, and by the Sunday they like have it done, but like prep it from Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but like over the weekend they get into details. Like, that's another little vision of mine. Nice. But it could be 2023, 2024. I wanted to do it this year, but the busy movement got way busy. Big, and the way I wanted it to be.
Cool. Yeah. Man, you got the platform, bro. You got ALTBAYS on your side for sure. You know, as I said, this is something that we envision. Like, we want to be part of the party people movement, you know, like the people who are actively doing your stuff, you know, like, so you can see where we're going with this because you got the vision.
Yeah, thank you.
So
thank you,
man, count on us, Dad. Thanks so much for coming, for driving, for being present, because I can tell that the family is supporting. Like, it's one big thing, you know. I always remember when my father told me, man, you know, like, go learn a musical instrument or whatever, and they were so supportive. And Dad would have this combi, like those old school Volkswagen vans, you know, like the rounded one. Man, we would put the drums in it, and he would drive it everywhere, and always saying, you know, go for it, you know, we're gonna do it together. And look at me now, 30 something, teaching drums, speaking the second language that they supported me to go and learn. You know, like, so it makes a lot of sense when the family believes in something, you know, like it's not like, oh, you're trying to make something happen. No, it's you. It cannot go any other way, you know, and like, it's what you know.
A little shout out to people who haven't got a little bits of, shout out to the people that haven't got family backing as well, though, because imagine if you didn't have Dad, or I didn't have my brothers, and I was just and there is a little event organisers out there that don't really have their parents on board. I'm very grateful to have my dad be build nearly every stage with me, and create it prior and pack down it with me, but there will be a time, there's times where he won't be there, but you need to, it's a big ups to those people that are doing it on their own, but they can create a crew around them that are like family, just like we have, but definitely it's a lot of work, but big ups to them, because I have a few friends that are like that as well.
It pays off, and then it might be an opportunity to find your crew, right? Go out there. Who is doing it? You know, how can I get together and actually be?
We've got our crew. We've got a lot of people that, if I wasn't there, there's got a lot of other people that step in and help.
Nice. Dad's nice, Dad. We haven't been Cocky.
That's
you
cool,
joke
man.
around sometimes. These
Man.
jokes
No,
around.
we've got a lot of crews.
Yeah.
Gotta value the team and support. Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Good stuff. So to wrap it up, let's just bring all the names of everything that you involved, so we can. Do you have something there for
Matt
us?
just answered it. He said it is a technical parade with DJs on trucks in Berlin.
Techno parade.
Yeah. People follow them through the streets.
Yeah, I.
Oh, cool.
I
Thanks,
might have
Matt.
seen something.
Yeah.
Berlin's. I want to go. To
Yeah,
Berlin
it's
so bad.
there'll probably be quite a few big festivals I would think that are like Love Parade. That I'll probably just snap through on Instagram, but that hasn't been done. Think about Berlin techno. Oh, Berlin doing a street parade with great DJs on moving stages is absolutely amazing. I actually can't vision it in New Zealand.
Doesn't seem like a thing.
I can't vision it in New Zealand in my eyes. I am not going to say like negative things, but to be honest, I feel like it could be a bit messy.
Right.
That's what I'd say. As in like you can't really control it, as if it can. Well, like Cuba Duba Wellington is already sort of that level. It's just free, and you just walk around to stages, and there's like moving big parades running through. It's actually it's the Love Parade of New Zealand, I think, and it's done there because the environment there is really well done. But I guess I personally wouldn't look at doing that for years and years.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
There you go, Matt.
Keep it small and make sure that you invite us.
I've got you all invited.
Yeah,
I think.
I'm not even kidding. I'm already like, oh, yo,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
listen,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, we'll make something work. Yeah.
So, man, we got the Busy Movement,
Yes.
Ponderosa Ranch.
Dad just tuning out back there. Like,
yeah, did he have a sleep? Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
no. He was, I just heard some tunes. I was like, oh, is it a bit of...
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so the Busy Movement as the whole, and then all our little extras will be one for now. The main one will be Abracadabra Festival. That is in the works. It's coming up. Tickets just came out on Tuesday night.
Can you buy the day or you buy the 3-day festival?
If we don't sell out, you can buy on the day.
But I'm sorry, can you buy one day or you buy the package?
Oh, okay. So that's a question that has come through this week. We're going to bring the 1-day tickets out if we don't sell out. In the last 2 weeks, we're going to bring out 1-day passes.
Fair enough.
And that was because we want to have people on site for the whole festival experience.
Yeah.
So Abracadabra just came out this week. It's been in the works for a few months, but we're into it now. 23rd to the 25th of September, based in Waihi, Waitawhata, at a big recreational camp. 120 hostel beds. I think only 70, and then there's like 70 camper passes. And 20 large camper passes, so you like bring all your campers, and we all sort of create like a commune around this little thing, and you've got this big both indoor stages. I'm sort of labeling it. Last year was like the cozy winter festival. This is like the flamboyant. No, this is like the funky fresh spring festival this year. Like I'm going to a little bit brighter touch to it.
Daylight savings starts.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
weekend.
so
so
that makes sense. Dad was just saying that it's the weekend that daylight saving starts. So.
Okay, yeah, so that's it. It's sort of the fresh start to summer, and I'm sort of labeling.
Flamboyant.
Yeah. So I've just got Abracadabra. Then our next is Ponderosa Ranch. So that's at the moment all running out of the Busy Movement page. There is a thought in my mind that I make its own Instagram page, and it's our third extra thing. So that's going to be in the works in the next few months. Probably just after Abracadabra, we'll be releasing dates for a music festival this summer. Still to be announced, but it's going to be in the plans as a 4-day Christmas festival from the 24th to the 27th of December. And we're going to have kids, and we're having fucking elves, stages, Santas, and fucking everything. But
It's like, oh, fuck, that's my son.
Now we gotta do it. Now we gotta do it.
Yeah, well, it's
What cool crazy dates too, though.
Oh,
that,
that's the
actual
crazy date.
Yeah, but that's like the actual Christmas.
I was
like,
coming here to really 50-50 about mentioning that because it's really hard to say because we are waiting the date. Like I'm talking, it's days about getting like saying
Approval.
yes, but our plan and our vision is Christmas at Ponderosa Ranch.
Cool,
and
man.
It's
Oh,
going
that
to
sounds
be
cool.
all Western themed like we did Ponderosa Ranch, and all of us all dress up. We're going to do food on Christmas Day, and we're going to do this whole sort of play and production with electronic music and like DJs and that, but with presents and trees and then Christmas.
Are you going to
trees.
do that? What is it called? Like the Jesus, what is it, the birthing story? What's the Jesus story called? What's the Jesus story called? You know, like
Oh no, we're gonna stay away from religious.
What's the? I mean, what's the story? Like, have that with a bit of like Dobby in the background.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's bound to be some Jesus-looking
I
fellow
could-
walking around the crowd.
That's what I was
Surely, like,
thinking. There would be a few Jesus.
it's gonna be
in
some
the
Jesus-looking
crowd.
fellow. Like,
Yes, we'll create a Jesus.
Even though we've got Jesus.
Yeah, we've got Jesus in the jail at the ranch.
Yeah.
But no, we've got a vision for that. That's Ponderosa Ranch. That's coming this summer in December. Dates to be announced. If you're tuning in, that is going to probably be the beautifulest little festival. Probably 250 people, and then Sick Beats Worldwide is the platform that we're using to sort of express our other side, our other styles of music. It's my business partner's first vision of her dance parties in the UK, and we're wanting to bring some of the UK sound eventually into New Zealand, but at the moment we are just wanting to bring you a really high profile vibe, new sort of stage and visions for the event, and those dates are to be continued, but it sounds like it's the first weekend of March at the moment. And that's a 3-day music and arts festival, forest festival called Forest of Sick Beats, and then it's just yarn funk.
Yarn funk.
Yarn funk at the
Yes.
moment. Yeah.
On top of all of this, you're DJ.
Yeah. Well, we got the whole team. Yeah, and then I'm just DJing. I got a gig coming up.
Do you come with everything if necessary? Do you bring all the gear? Or you?
Garrett,
Yeah? Cool.
Cool.
like tiny home and jail, like, all in tow.
Yeah, KGBs as well.
Nice.
So it's a growing thing, and the busy movement's definitely going to be busy from this August is going to really tick, but we've got some good visions for the stages and stuff for Abracadabra, so quite excited. We're just building the festival crew at the moment, and getting some stuff planned and organised.
Nice.
Yeah.
Keep us in the loop so we can send some shout outs and let people know what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. I'll send links and stuff. I'm hoping to be on maybe Base FM sometime at the first weekend of September, like around the start of September, just to give people a few weeks' notice. Go there. My friend Grassmouth, Chris, he runs the Tuesday show where he brings New Zealand music on the show and up and coming sort of people in New Zealand, and I might jump on there and sort of let them know Abracadabra's sort of popping off and it's happening again. I'm hoping we got 200 tickets for sale, so we're hoping to hopefully sell it out. That was the goal.
I'm like genuinely just thinking over in my head. I was like, oh my god, he's like plugging it, and the tickets are already out. I'm a little bit like, oh my god, there better be fucking one left. I'm going to be so gutted.
No, I think there'll be some left. But on the first week we've done 20 or so, like just straight away on the first night. It was just like boom, and like a decent price. You get your add-ons and stuff. Any questions, just let me know, and then I'll be able to sort something out.
Awesome. Thanks so much, my bro.
Yeah, all good, Leo. Thank you
pleasure,
so much
man.
for having me. What a mixed chat, and filled all the boxes and filled my cup.
Yes, that's why we're here for, man. Thank you so much. Chloe, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, dude. Thanks, Dad.
Thank you, Chloe. Dad.
Thanks for moral support.
Cool. Thank you, Taylor. Cool.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Papa.
Thank
You
you,
happy
Taylor.
there? Cool.
Thank you, guys.
And thanks for watching. We're live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Always bringing interesting people for a yarn. So next week we have Kim Laurie He works for the Magri Bay Environmental Trust, which is a cool thing. We're going to learn a lot. He's been involved with this kind of work in our community for years, and he used to run one of the biggest language schools in the Coromandel. So we're going to have a cool chat. On Wednesday, we have Brent and Larissa from the Tattoo Black. They're like old school, classic tattoo artists, live in Taurua. And on Friday, we have Dan Will, a New Zealand porn actor.
Oh, I was like, you looked at me like I meant to know who he is. I'm like,
That's gonna be fun. That shows our diversity. We're here to have conversations, to listen to what people are up to, with all respect that everyone deserves, right? Listen to people's stories and then you understand yourself better a little bit. Maybe, you never know. Cool. So tune in, 7 p.m. Cool week ahead. I'll see you there. Peace.